Okay. And with that, we are live. So, hello everyone. It's your favorite programming error that just refused to be fixed, Code here. And I would like to welcome you all back to more Genshin Impact today. The game updated. And I sadly already know... Also, Gwen, hello. Congrats on being first. You are, in fact, first today. Congratulations. The game updated, right? And they added more stuff to Mondstadt again. However, I am aware of something which is a little bit upsetting. Also, there's a story quest as well, apparently. Yeah. Play it myself tomorrow? Alright, that's fair. Thanks for the lurk, Gabe. Appreciate that. You do that. Now, there are some things I know. The main thing is that Venti still isn't voice acted. Ads are over? Well, in that case, once again, congrats on being first. So yeah, what I know is that Venti still isn't voice acted, but the voice actor for Venti did say that she wanted to return, but couldn't, but will do everything in her power to return for starting with the next update. Which means, currently, as we return to Mondstadt, I have a strong feeling that, once again, most characters over here are not gonna have any voices. Except Paimon. Paimon is gonna be voice acted still. Which is honestly a little bit upsetting because out of all the voice actors right now that are actually, you know, out of all the voice actors that are actually still voicing in the game, I like Paimon's VA the least. Due to everything going on. Now, obviously, if you aren't aware of the non-strike that is going on, I'd encourage everyone to look into it themselves. I am not a reliable source of information for anything. But if you know, you know. With how many crash outs Paimon's VA has already had about everything going on. Which is why it's very disappointing to me that we're still lacking the good VAs. I like the fact that the pathing is trying to lead me directly through the wall. Like, that's good pathing, right? Also, hi, Spinne. This is perfect. Well, anyway, let's find... Well, that's a rift of some kind. I was expecting to just talk to characters as I returned to Mondstadt. I was not expecting some kind of rift to appear. Return to special story mode. Hello? For anyone unaware, we're getting an interlude chapter. We have an interlude again. It's interesting. This isn't the first interlude that has us return to Mondstadt. I guess since this is the prologue nation, it is also the interlude nation, because this Mondstadt isn't even chapter 1. It's just the prologue. And the interludes, I guess. Well, let's see what this is about. Return to special story mode. About to enter story mode, continue. I think this is the first time I've seen it pop up like this. Like, I know there's notifications when you enter a part of the story that's, like, more extensive. Where it's like, hey, you might want to do this in one sitting, be sure you have time. And I know there's a similar prompt when you want to enter the, what was it called? Something experience mode. Anyway, where, like... you focus on the quest and everything else doesn't trigger.
Wine tastes the same.
I've never seen it pop up like this for just regular story progression. So that's interesting. That's definitely new. Anyway. Let's hope and pray that Paimon isn't the only voice we get to hear, because that's gonna be draining.
Wow! The city is all decked out! Oh, it's beautiful! Festival season means no
I wonder who
commissions,
is gonna be
which
voiced. I know Venti isn't.
no more.
I hope at least some people
Catherine's
are.
always looking out for us, so we should still drop by and say hello.
Sure, let's go.
Greetings, traveler. Paimon.
Hey, Catherine! Still doing the whole no commissions during Windbloom thing?
By the way, it's interesting that
In
the
general,
decorations
yes.
weren't there before, I
The
think.
people of Mondstadt don't delegate their
Like, the
work to
decorations
others this
appeared
time
the
of
second
year.
I started the quest.
But
Also, this is an interlude chapter.
But...
It's not an event story,
free
it's
to
an
take a look
interlude
around.
chapter.
I think you'll pick up on something unusual.
I think this is the first time Windbloom is actually not an
Look
event.
around, huh?
Windbloom, but not limited to an event, but rather actual story part. Well, that's something different.
It's finally Windbloom. And here I am ruining everything.
You're a bit tired. No big deal. Give it some time. How about doing something fun tonight? We could take a stroll or go stargazing.
Stargazing? Like we'll find a spot. You know people start reserving places on Star Snatch Cliff the moment the sun goes down?
How can you
Sorry, I'm
reserve
just
spots on the cliff?
Not in the mood. I should go.
I mean, sure,
Whoa,
whatever.
Something's off with Beatrice. She would
I
never
feel like
give up a chance to
I feel
talk
like
to
the cliff
Quinn.
is big enough for
This
everyone
is
to take a
weird.
seat, but whatever.
Oh, you're leaving? I can walk you home.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I just need some time to myself. Besides, there's still something I need to do.
Oh,
The truth is, Quinn, not long ago,
she does not want to hang out with
What
him.
is it? Is there something wrong?
She got someone else.
Never mind. It's nothing. Actually, Quinn,
Yeah,
I
she
think
might
we
have
should
someone
stop seeing
else.
each other for now.
Whoopsies.
Huh? Wait, are you saying we can't be friends anymore? I thought we were best friends.
Did you see that? Beatrice ran off without
Damn, and then she got friend
Oh, we go
zoned.
adventuring in other nations for a bit, and one of Mondstadt's best love, friendship stories is already over?
I'm sorry, I can't be seeing you anymore. What? I thought we were the best of friends. Why would you do this? The hard counter. They can't reject you fully if you friend zone them first. Can't believe it.
So, is this what you meant by unusual, Catherine?
This is just one example. Beatrice has been feeling down for days. But that's not all.
Oh. It's the honorary knight in Paimon.
I appreciate that the NPCs are all voice acted. So far we
You
have full
look so
voice
good.
acting, but I know it won't last.
I know a knight should be stronger than this. But I haven't been feeling right lately. I just can't focus.
So...
I started sleepwalking out of nowhere. Sometimes I'd even wake up in the middle of the night standing in a random location outside.
You should see a doctor.
We know a good one in
I
Liyue.
did, but all the tests came back normal. The doctor said I'm fine.
Strange.
Yeah. I even consulted Miss Barbara at the church, but her conclusion was the same. In any case, she was kind enough to pray to Lord Barbados for me to get better. Is it because I saw something I wasn't meant to see?
Something you weren't meant to
Sorry,
see.
this is for me to figure out. It is Windbloom after all. Anyway, I have patrol to finish. Until next time, you two.
Alright, you head on off.
Huh. Is it something in the air, maybe?
Everyone's
it appears
feeling
Miss
down.
Donna is also out of sorts. Oh, where can I find a truly fascinating man?
I guess I'm out of the
Wait,
question.
but Donna is the one who has a huge crush on D-Luke, right?
That's what I thought too. But she seems to have changed her mind.
Okay, so all romantic feelings just vanished.
Is that Captain Kaya? Huh. Now that I look at him,
I'm curious.
he's exactly my type.
Ha!
How come I never felt this
Switching
way
to
before?
Kaya instead of D-Luke. I see. And of course. Let me guess. Every single NPC is gonna be voice acted. And every single playable character is not gonna be voice acted. That's my assumption at this point. F. Honestly, Genshin has really fallen off hard. But here I am, still playing it, because I'm too committed at this point. Part of me is hoping that after this interlude, we're gonna go straight to Snezhnaya, and Snezhnaya isn't gonna be too long. I am flattered, Miss Donna, although I do wonder whether that was intended for outside ears.
Oh, no. Of course not. I'm sorry, Captain. Just pretend I didn't say anything. And, have a happy Windbloom.
I intend to, my dear, but first a question if you don't mind. Why the sudden change of heart? I was under the impression Master Tiluk was the object of your affections.
Good question, Kaya.
So, you knew about that? Well,
Or
Master
whatever it's
Diluc
called.
came into the city
Right.
not too long ago, but when I saw him, it was like the butterflies just weren't there
We'll see how
anymore.
quickly Genshin progresses at this point.
If I had to compare it to something, it would be like waking up and realizing you're married to a man you don't love. But then I saw you, and it wasn't that something was different about you. I can't really explain it. It was just a feeling.
I understand, and I'm flattered I was able to bring back the butterflies, but I do need to see to some business, so I'll take my leave.
Oh, here he comes.
Are we the business?
Well, surprised to see us?
Not at all. You are the exact two people I've been trying to find. So, Code, Paimon, how have you been? All good. How about yourself and the rest of the Knights of Favonius? I see you lost your voices. Is the quest gonna be to look for them? To answer that requires a private conversation. Catherine, do you mind?
Not at all. Have fun, you three.
So, you said you were looking for us.
Yes, Jean sent me to find you when she heard you were back in Mondstadt, but let's discuss the finer details back at headquarters. Paralogism. Now that's a word. Alright, to headquarters we go. Oh! Because it's a... Okay, so that explains the rift. Special story mode, so I can't even open the map. Trying to open the map, it's just like, no. You cannot use teleport points in the city. You cannot open the map. You have to walk. They found... Oh no, how dare they? How dare they? They're forcing me to walk to places now. So rude. Can't believe they would make me do this. No teleport points? How dare? How dare they?
Ah, Kaya. You found them.
No fucking way. A playable character who is voice acted. I can't believe it. No playable character is voice acted, but here comes the end user license agreement. With full voicing. Now this I did not see coming. Absolutely not. Yep, I managed to track them down. We didn't walk to places. Now we walk home and they unlock a teleport point with an update. I mean, I do hate that too. I do hate that too. Again, I want to earn my teleport points, but once I have earned them, I want to be able to use them. That is me.
Good. With what's about to happen, it's great to have you in town.
Whoa, headquarters are packed. What's going on?
Honorary Knight Paimon. Oh, it's an honor to meet you. I believe introductions are in order?
Allow me. You have No, the captain of the second company. Sekairan, captain of the third company. Eula, captain of the fourth company, and me, of course, captain of the ninth company.
Oh, you're all captains?
That's right. Master Jean is waiting for you inside.
And
She'll
yet
explain
one of
everything.
the captains isn't important enough to even get a voice.
Jean!
Alright. The end user license agreement has already proven me wrong. Let's see if Jean can also prove me wrong. She cannot! Jean sucks ass and should be banished from the realm of Genshin Impact for all eternity. Samara could use a new 5-star? You know what, that's fair. I think it's been a hot minute. I mean, we have gotten... I mean, did Mondstadt ever get a new 5-star? I think wasn't Mika a 4-star? Because I know Mika was added to as a new Mondstadt character later on. I know... Well, Leo definitely has gotten a new 5-star character. I guess Fontaine and Natlan are very recent, so I wouldn't bother thinking about them right now. Code, Paimon, thank you for coming. Is everything alright? There are tons of people outside. Ah yes, that would be the captains. You know a few of them already, but I'm sure there are some new faces. There have been a number of incidents in Mondstadt. In order to wrap up the case, I gathered the captains of the Knights of Favonius together to hold a trial. A class trial?
But this is Mondstadt, not Fontaine!
I can understand the confusion. You've never participated in one of our trials before. In truth, we haven't had to conduct one in quite some time. The Knights of Favonius oversee most matters of law and order in Mondstadt. Of course, in the interest of fairness, major cases are tried jointly with the Church. Under the guidance of Barbados, the Knights uphold chivalric justice in the spirit of our order, and the Church carries blessings and goodwill wherever the wind can reach. And today's case requires a joint trial by both parties.
Which means it's a serious one. So, do you need our help?
I guess. Hold on, the group of people we saw in the corridor just now, there was someone missing. Where's Albedo?
Right! He's the captain of the investigation team. But we didn't see him out there.
Is his imposter back or something? A keen observation, Code. That happens to be exactly why I called you here. In the upcoming trial against Captain Albedo, we will do our utmost to understand the facts of this case and deliver a fair and impartial verdict. Trial against Albedo? So the imposter did get up to some nonsense again.
Albedo is the one on trial? What did he do?
And did he do it or did his imposter do it? Again, I keep bringing it back to the imposter. Jean, it's time. Understood. Code, Paimon, come with me. I don't know why I'm so insistent on Albedo's imposter being back. Please sit wherever you like. I only ask that you remain calm, no matter what you hear. I need to head over there. Don't worry, the trial will be fair. Well, I was not expecting to return to a trial on Albedo. Now that everyone is gathered, let us begin. With Grandmaster Varka away from Mondstadt, for the time being, I, Jean Gunhilder, will oversee today's proceedings. Mr. Dahlia of the Church of Favonius will serve as an assessor. As representatives of our respective organizations, we will ensure a just verdict in this case.
Oh, that's a new face.
Yeah,
Deacon of the church.
new
Does
character,
that mean he works with Barbara and Rosaria?
one would assume. The defendant in today's case is the captain of the investigation team, Albedo. Albedo, what did you do? Certain aspects of this case are classified, and it remains uncertain whether the alleged victims are citizens of Mondstadt. As such, this trial is not open to the public. The identities of the victims are still unknown? Strange. If guilt is established in this case, all facts will be made public after the trial verdict is delivered. Now, the captain of logistics company, Miss Hertha, will present the charges. The court appoints Mr. Kaya to speak on Mr. Albedo's behalf. Are both parties ready to proceed? Yes.
Ready to proceed.
You can tell who's important and who's the side character, because the important character over here is voice acted, while the meaningless side character who doesn't deserve to even be here doesn't even get a voice. Miss Hertha, the floor is yours.
Prior to this trial, the Knights of Favonius, in conjunction with the church, launched an investigation into Mr. Albedo for suspected murder and unlawful disposal of human remains.
But was it him or was it his imposter?
Murder?
Well, he does have the star, so at least the one here is most like the real
A
one.
witness stated that, 11 days ago, in the middle of the night, she saw the defendant southeast of the city gates, dragging a large object she later identified as a human body.
No. There's no way!
We now call that witness to the stand. Beatrice, please tell us what you saw.
Okay, then. Beatrice, so is that what she was trying to tell Quinn earlier?
Well, I was out late that night on business. And when I came back, I saw someone in the moonlight that looked like Mr. Albedo. He was dragging a huge bag of some kind.
It looked like him, huh? Again, it could have been his imposter.
I thought it was strange, so I followed him. Then, there was a sudden flash of golden light. The bag opened, and inside there was a body. Mr. Albedo's vision allows him to manipulate the ground with ease. So he buried it, and then removed any traces on the ground. Before he left, it seemed like he looked in my direction. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I was terrified thinking he might kill me too. Luckily, he didn't see me.
I don't buy it. I now turn to the defendant. Describe your whereabouts that night. God damn it, Albedo! Defend yourself! Speak up! Speak up, Albedo! I was working in my office on the second floor of the Knights of Favonius headquarters. That's right. The next day, the defendant submitted his latest environmental report on the Dragonspine region. Considering the length of the text, it must have taken a considerable amount of time to finish.
Can anyone attest to the fact that the defendant was working in his office that night?
No.
Then the length of the report is not a sufficient alibi.
This isn't looking good.
Well, hey. Dahlia, you have the benefit of being voiced because you're a new character. So all the crappy union member VAs that are on the forced strike that isn't actually a legit strike for some reason, yeah, they don't have to hire those people. They can hire people who aren't bound by shitty terms. If the crime did occur as you described, then what about the body? You mentioned the joint investigation. Well, was the body recovered?
Not yet.
In other words, you dug up the location Miss Beatrice described and found nothing. You don't find that suspicious?
I know what I saw. I'm telling the truth, Miss Hertha, I swear. Also, didn't you say that speaking out would help protect the people of Mondstadt? Otherwise, I'd never put myself out here like this.
You're doing the right thing. Besides, the investigation wasn't fruitless. A single man's shoe and a torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes near the crime scene.
Well, that doesn't prove anything,
The same
though.
location the witness described. If no crime occurred, then is all this just a coincidence?
And yet no victim has been identified, correct?
It's true. No one has been reported missing. However, Miss Beatrice harbors no ill will toward the defendant. Her testimony clearly points to a crime, and she has no reason to lie.
No, none that we know of. Does the defendant wish to say anything in response? You You may believe otherwise, Miss Herta, but I did not kill a single person. As a knight and the captain of the investigation team, I have a duty to protect Mondstadt and its people. You accuse me of murder, but there's no body or motive.
The defendant raises an important point. Motive. Yet, I must be frank, not all murders are premeditated. Spontaneous conflict can also have unforeseen consequences.
Yes, but still, if we don't know who's missing, we don't know if there would be even a chance.
Nevertheless, I don't intend to prosecute this case on circumstantial evidence alone. Which brings me to the second charge against Mr. Albedo.
Oh.
Second charge?
There's more. Please proceed.
7 days ago, at dawn, a witness saw the defendant dispose of the body of an adult male in the area between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery. I
Another
now call
one.
the second witness to the stand.
Wait, that's...
Dilug? Rangvinder? I guess Dilug is a witness. Please tell the court what you saw. Dilug! My god! No one! Like, what is wrong? Why can they... Again, Ventis VA seems pretty determined about coming back to this game in the next, starting with the next update. I hope every voice actor is that determined, or all my appreciation for these voice actors goes even lower than it is currently after this extended strike that is not even a proper strike. At around 3:40 in the morning, I saw Mr. Albedo dispose of a body beneath a cliff. It was dark, but he used the power of Geo to illuminate his surroundings. From what I could tell, it looked like the body of an adult male, tall and thin, but I couldn't make out the age. He buried the body underneath the cliff and smoothed out the ground to remove any traces.
We now have accounts from 2 separate witnesses that describe the same modus operandi. Would you call that a coincidence?
It would only inquire as to what Mr. Dilug was doing in that area early in the morning. Not the most opportune time for a stroll. Is there such a thing? Dawn Winery is my home. It's not unusual for me to take walks in the area. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. That's all. Master Dilug is a well-respected figure in Mondstadt. I see no reason for him to frame Mr. Albedo, yet the question remains. Where are the bodies?
Before you suggest a lack of evidence, Mr. Kaya, you should know. After the defendant left that morning, the witness found this where the body was buried.
And this is... what looks like the teeth and femur of a human. Now, it does beg the question, if the burial was fresh, why is this all that remains of the body? But I suppose Mr. Albedo is the only one who can answer that. Careful now, Master Dilug. I believe I hear a presumption of guilt in there somewhere.
These remains suggest an accelerated rate of decomposition. Considering the defendant's profession, there's reason to suspect that alchemy is at play here. Both witnesses saw golden light,
I see where they're coming from,
a
at the
known
very
byproduct
least.
of alchemy. That's how the defendant destroyed the bodies. The light also explains how the witnesses were able to get a clear view of the events in the dark.
Still doesn't explain why there is no one reported missing or anything. So that's your angle, alchemy. A logical assessment, but we have witnesses of our own. The afternoon before the alleged second murder, Mr. Albedo had a lengthy intellectual exchange with his student Sucrose. The two were in the library until the next morning. Why did the discussion last so long? Miss Sucrose was presenting the results of her research. She noticed some flaws in the data and insisted on reviewing her calculations until the next morning, with Mr. Albedo present. I hate that nobody here is voice acted still. At this point, I really wonder why they didn't just replace the VAs. It's been over half a year. Just replace them. Please.
That's right. We were in the library together.
You're certain Mr. Albedo was present the whole time?
Yes, and I know Mr. Albedo would never kill someone. He could never be that cruel.
Nevertheless, the other witnesses have no reason to lie. Tell me, Miss Sucrose, that meeting in the library, Were you awake the whole time? Sounds like a considerable duration to go without sleep.
Oh,
I do hope you can be truthful with us. It concerns the safety of countless Mondstadt citizens. A crime like this cannot go unpunished.
I'll take it from here. During our meeting, Sucrose did fall asleep not long after midnight. It's alright, Sucrose, you don't have to lie for me. This is a sacred place of judgment. The truth is paramount. Mr. Albedo? I see. Then I'm afraid your alibi cannot be substantiated. Do you understand? Yes, I know. Claiming innocence without proof isn't enough. But the prosecutor's argument has its own holes. There's been no mention of a motive, or what exact method could reduce a human body to those remains.
No conclusive evidence of guilt. But the witness accounts do match to an extent that can't be dismissed. This is a tricky one.
He should be innocent until proven guilty.
Allow me to submit another piece of evidence. The investigators intercepted one of Mr. Albedo's correspondences. I will now read the pertinent parts to the court.
Correspondence? No, that envelope does look like it belongs to Mr. Albedo.
I have never abandoned the subject of human research. In fact, delving deeper into Dragonspine has led me to realize that the concept of life could be further expanded and transformed into that of birth. The mystery of human birth is often linked to death. As such, death is the most suitable material for the creation of new life. To that end, we must engage in a process of putrefaction and refinement.
Again, I still believe that maybe Albedo's imposter has been working on stuff as well. Putrefaction and refinement.
Is that in reference to an alchemical process?
The letter continues. Experimental trials have been carried out in the northwestern part of Dragonspine, in the area southeast of Mondstadt's main gate. The data is as expected. Just as you endeavored to do, I too shall take up the path of creation and break through current limitations to reach a new realm of living beings.
Albedo, have you been teaching your imposter some crazy stuff and they've kind of gone off the rails? I trust the investigators have confirmed this to be the defendant's handwriting, and that the letter makes more than passing mentions of putrefaction and refinement.
Correct. Not to mention, the locations indicated in the letter match both crime scenes. What more can we trust than the defendant's own words?
No, it can't be true.
Curious. I can't believe it.
A guilty verdict cannot be delivered without sufficient evidence. In order to protect all parties involved, that is what our principles demand. My original assessment was that we lacked said evidence. But now, it seems the only remaining questions are the identities of the victims, and the specific alchemical process used in this case.
Then we are in agreement. The evidence is conclusive. On the charges of murder and unlawful disposal of human remains, the court finds the defendant guilty. Bye, Albedo. It was nice knowing you. The people in attendance appear shocked. No one can believe a kind, well-mannered person like Albedo could commit such a crime. Jean stipulates that those unsatisfied with the verdict will have time to submit an objection or appeal, but most appear hopeless in this moment. As you watch Albedo being taken back to headquarters, you get a strange feeling that something hidden is about to come to light. It all comes back to the letter, a secret that you and Albedo know all too well, but the people of Mondstadt have yet to discover.
Why would Albedo do something like that?
Something we know all too well. It could be the imposter then, because none of the other people in Mondstadt would know. Albedo told me a secret once. There was a synthetic human created through alchemy. Could that have something to do with this case? But what? Following Rheindoller's footsteps just because he's an alchemical creation? That would only make him more suspicious. Rosaria, fuck off until you get a voice. I mean... Oh, this took a turn for the worse.
Rosaria! Oh, when did you get here?
I've been here the whole time. I happen to have a message to pass along. For us? Yes. You're needed at Star Snatch Cliff. He's waiting for you there.
Who is he?
A tone-deaf bard? A certain one? You'll know when you get there. Go on now. Time is like the wind. It waits for no one. Alright, tone-deaf bard. Truly tone-deaf if you don't even say anything. And I know you won't say anything. Recollections. The current story seems to be related to your past adventures. Would you like to quickly go over and review those experiences? Guys, what do you say? I really could go without a review. Can we agree that we don't need the review? I feel like I know decently well what happened in Mondstadt and everything. I think we can agree we don't need it, right? Right. Right.
Where do you want to go next?
You don't really care.
If you'd like to see
again, it would just be a recap.
I have a few references.
I do not think we need a recap at all. So if you don't really care, then we will not do a recap. Seems very unnecessary. Hey, I have my map again. In fact, funnily enough, this is not the first time I've been prompted to do a recap. The new world quest in Natlan, right? The world quest in Natlan that takes you into this new area over here. That one also was like, hey, do you want to do a recap? And I was like, no, I do not need it. And now even the main story is like, hey, do you want a recap? And I still do not think that the recap is a necessary thing. I mean, hey, I guess some people appreciate that feature, but I don't know. I think it might be a little bit unnecessary for me. Again, though, if... Also, by the way, hi, Neon. If everyone in chat was like, oh, we need to hear the recap, we need to absolutely hear the recap, then I would have played the recap. But... I just see... I would just view it as pointless. Yep, it's the tone-deaf bard. Ah, Code Paimon. I could hear your arrival upon the wind. Are you looking for me?
Venti, did you send us that message?
No, I did.
Huh. Interesting. Also, can I just say, I would trade Paimon's VA for literally any other VA that is currently missing. But, well,
whoa,
we just get Paimon.
Where did you come from? Wait, Venti, do you know this guy? His name is, what is his name again?
Didn't think I was that unmemorable. I'm Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius.
You got his news?
And Herald of the Animo Archon Barbados.
Then you go snooze,
Not gonna
Neon.
forget next time, right?
Appreciate that. So, you called us here so we could meet with Venti.
That's right. I noticed you during the trial. The legendary honorary knight. You seem to have a lot of thoughts on your mind, so I thought we should have a chat. After all, I am the Herald of Barbados. If the people of Mondstadt are in danger,
say looking at
I should keep
Venti.
the Animo Archon in the loop.
So you know.
Wait then, you know about...
About what? The fact that my tavern-hopping nomad of a friend is Barbados himself?
Imagine being friends with the god you worship. Must be nice. Don't worry, Dahlia and I are close. He knows everything. Besides, a god needs someone to communicate their will in a formal setting, and no one does that better than Dahlia.
Not that I saw that coming when we first met. But back to the matter at hand. I believe you two already know about Albedo's background.
If you mean his true identity, then yeah, we do.
So, you know too, Venti? That's surprisingly Archon-like of you.
Ah, well, I knew from the moment Rhindaughter and Alice brought Albedo to Mondstadt. When those two are in town, no one can afford to slack off. The Cried Prince, a perfect specimen of synthetic life, and at this stage of the case, there are countless questions surrounding Albedo's motive. His true identity is a potential weakness.
A synthetic being loses control of their sanity and goes on a killing spree. That's how a novel would frame the story, and people are inclined to agree.
So what do we do to
before that humans often value the
his
ordinary
innocence?
over the transcendent and miraculous.
And the slightest difference is perceived as other. A very common phenomenon.
Which means we need to find a way to help your friend. What do you know about the situation, Venti? Me? Well, I know that Albedo is a synthetic being, and that a lot of strange things have been happening to Mondstadt. Even though Windbloom should be about drinking and having fun.
We noticed that too! The minute we got here, something was off.
You share your observations with Venti and Dahlia.
I've picked up on most of those too. Miles is out of sorts.
I do wonder what the
Beatrice seems
recap would have
anxious.
even
Although I didn't know
consisted of.
Donna stopped being interested in Master Dealer.
Like, do you think people would actually have forgotten that the tone-deaf bard is actually Barbados or something? When no love remains for the songs to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is said fate, cruel it may be, were it not for a hero who could set us all free.
What are you getting at, Tone Deaf Bard?
Oh, just making a comment. There are always unavoidable trials in life. At least that's what Barbados would say. A certain someone is going to need to overcome a trial like that. In such cases, even the Seven know better than to tamper with fate. If only there was a brave soul willing to aid their friend in this time of need. Should he meet a terrible fate, all of Mondstadt could be worse for it.
If you wanted our help, you could have just asked, you know.
That would have been too straightforward. Well, even if Albedo wasn't at the center of this case, protecting Mondstadt is a part of being an honorary knight, right? You'll still have help, of course, which is why I prepared a little surprise. Behold!
Ooh! Hyman remembers that Jumpy Dumpty!
Ah, yes. A good old memory from a certain archipelago. Don't worry, I removed the fuse so it's not going to explode. Say hello to the Dodo communication device.
So, this thing belongs to you now?
We're old pals. Don't think she'd care if I borrowed it for a few days. Anyway, this invention with a little help from a trick of mine will allow us to keep in touch. Just take it out and we can chat. Okay, so that's another thing that's definitely something that they probably would have mentioned in the recap. The archipelago and the communication device. We'll do our best to uncover the truth. That's all I ask. No matter what comes, you have the wind on your side. But so far, I still don't necessarily see a need for a full recap to have happened. So far, I am glad I decided against the recap. Alright, gotta enter another rift. Right, let me see. Yeah, okay, so you enter these rifts to make sure Mondstadt is actually decorated for Windbloom. That's why they're there, because the Windbloom festival isn't actually going on, it's part of the story. Which is why you have to enter a rift, so it actually changes Mondstadt's appearance. Intriguing. Intriguing, intriguing. I know you must all be shocked, but the evidence is solid. Albedo's situation is not looking good.
I still don't believe Albedo would do something like that. Using living people as alchemical test subjects? It's like something out of a novel.
Perhaps it's best for me to remain impartial, but I've worked with Albedo before. He's an alchemist, not a sadist.
I appreciate end-user license agreement, doing all the work here. This version of events is as hard for me to accept as anyone, but Varka once said Albedo is very different from the rest of us. Perhaps there are things we still need to learn about him. Let's see what Albedo has to say for himself first. Would you mind giving me a moment, everyone? A private matter requires my attention.
Hey, Jean!
And so we shall interrupt. Code, Paimon, perfect timing. Kaya has a favor to ask. Like Jean said after the verdict, we have time to submit an appeal, and I will do my utmost to convince Albedo to accept. He's been acting strange, and I can't read him for the life of me, but I need you two to start investigating the case. Investigate the case? Yes, it's also time for you to get involved. Do you want us to join the joint investigation? No, we'd like you to launch an investigation of your own. I'll continue working on his defense in the meantime. If you find anything that might help his case, just let me know. I know it's against the spirit of the season to ask you this, but Albedo is a trusted member of our ranks. We owe him with the benefit of the doubt. Understood. I know you'll get to the bottom of this code. You've never failed us in our time of need.
But what if the accusations turn out to be true?
Then it sucks to be Albedo. Then you will have done Mondstadt a great service all the same. I'm expecting a retrial. Until then, you're welcome to have a look around Albedo's office on the 2nd floor. I'm counting on you. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look-see. Although, to be fair, if there was that I don't know if the letter was fake or taken wildly out of context. But if it was a faked letter, then I assume there could have also been planted evidence up here.
Captain Kaya! Surely I can't just...
These two are here on Jean's orders. She asked them to investigate Albedo's office.
Oh, in that case, head on in.
Well, here we are.
So this is Albedo's office. Pretty much exactly how Paimon pictured it.
The fact that he even has an office here, I thought he worked on Dragonspine all the time. Alright, I have some work on of my own, so I'll leave you to it. Good luck, you two.
Right back at ya.
Alright, let's investigate. Let's see what we got. I guess I'll just investigate here.
Alright, let's see what we can find.
Investigate the book. There's a stack of books on the desk, mostly relating to alchemy, environmental science, and life science. Some of the pages have been marked with alchemical symbols, and others have S-shaped or triangular symbols drawn on them. Any potential meaning is unclear.
Wow, these books are so fancy. Albedo must have gone to great lengths to get them.
Investigate underneath the book. Well, if you give me the option. After moving the book, the desk looks almost empty. Your hand slipped while moving the book, causing the hardcover book to strike the desk. The resulting noise is a bit unusual. It's subtle, but to an experienced adventurer it sounds too hollow, almost like there's a compartment within the desk. Before I investigate the compartment, I'm gonna have another look around. Would be a shame not to check everything. Let's investigate the research notes. Albedo's notes lie on the table. They resemble the ones you've seen before, but the contents are different this time. As always, the penmanship is impeccable, careful, and neat with a certain elegance in its uniformity, much like the man himself. One of the notes reads, "Putrefaction should be regarded as a counter-simulation to the process of life, like a highly efficient and destructive spell of rot. Upon use, the target will decay within an extremely short period of time, turning into dust that is nearly invisible to the naked eye before dissipating into the air." Oh boy, and there is the way that they were saying he could have done it. That's how they're saying he could have done it. Investigate the test tube. There's a test tube on the shelf with some black powder residue at the bottom. Next to it lies a neatly written note. Chalk is the next stage after soil, but the current available materials are still insufficient to construct a stable structure.
Nope. No idea what that means. Not sure if it's too hard for Paimon or too hard for anyone outside this line of work.
Alright, the lock. Investigate the lock box on the desk. The lock of the box? The locked box? Is a lockbox a thing? Investigate the lockbox on the desk. It is a thing, apparently. I guess I just have never heard of a lockbox. A lockbox sits on the desk. The latch bears signs of wear, suggesting the importance of whatever lies within. The box likely remained locked most of the time. But now, the lid remains wide open, as if the owner was forced to leave in a hurry and didn't have time to lock it. Perhaps the letter intercepted by the investigators was once stored here. The remaining contents shouldn't hold much weight as conclusive evidence, but you still get a strange feeling after viewing them. In elegant penmanship, the letter reads, "In addition, I do happen to have some information on the subject of our last discussion, the materials and RK information required for human transmutation. The formations in these records likely originate from the Khanrian art of Khamia. But relevant documentation has not been well maintained over time, so I cannot guarantee that there are no errors or omissions. As thanks for your past assistance, I've enclosed the records within this letter." But that does not mean I support your pursuits of this research. Ethics aside, I'm not convinced it's even possible to create a human whose existence is identical to our own. Huh. The idea that the dynamic of creator and creation could exist within the same species is cause for concern. Even with a talent like yours, I must urge you to proceed with caution. The signature belongs to an unfamiliar name, one that also appears on an alchemy book nearby. You skim the preface and learn that the author is an old and accomplished alchemist. The person is likely a friend from Albedo's academic circle, someone who owed Albedo a favor but also urged him to refrain from conducting dangerous research.
Human transmutation? Is Albedo seriously looking into that?
Curious.
Paimon doesn't want to think about that.
It doesn't look good, but this letter can't directly prove that Albedo did anything. Besides, a technique like that must be too dangerous to share with the public, right? That's why it wasn't brought up during the trial. Alright, time to look for that hidden compartment. Investigate underneath the desk.
It looks like there's a hidden compartment under the desk.
There does appear to be a compartment added to the underside of the desk. To one side of the desk. It was very well hidden. The lock mechanism is complex and seems to involve elemental power in some way. Perhaps you could try using the power of Geo. The hidden compartment opens. Inside lies a piece of paper with more information. Well, let's have a look. Festering is also a manifestation of rot. When festering forces and a sufficient amount of life energy collide, the two will repel each other, triggering a powerful side effect. When I tested this in an alchemical experiment, the results of the refinement were startling. Breaking through the shackles of life, the simulation of the project. I must take advantage of this opportunity.
The name of the project is blotted out in ink. What could it be?
Curious. The note mentioned festering forces, which suggests that Dragonspine could be involved somehow. If this has something to do with creating synthetic life, would Albedo go that far for one of his experiments? No, that can't be. Amid the notes is a map with a few markings on it. Two of the marked locations correspond to the crime scenes, and the third appears to be in Dragonspine. That's near the winery, and that's out there. And then one right out there in Dragonspine. Yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow, but if the results of the joint investigation are correct, there could be a body hidden in that last location. Or at the very least, what remains of one.
Huh. What does this mean? Oh, do you think something might also be buried at the last location?
We should check it out.
Alright, that seems to be it for this place. We should go tell Jean what we found.
Oh, we should check out the third location. Fine, I guess we'll tell Jean. Toroko. I like the device.
Venti's calling. Let's answer.
Venti. How's the investigation going? Find anything?
Oh, we found stuff, all right. Stuff that only makes Albedo look even more suspicious.
I see. So Albedo's researching something that doesn't help this case, huh? You share what you learned with Venti. Not promising. We should be grateful. Albedo's true identity remains hidden. If it gets out that he's one of Rhindaughter's creations, there'd be no separating him from her past. As we both know, Rhindaughter's approach to alchemy and ethics was pure madness, and the evidence you just found, let's just say it could convince even those closest to him of his guilt, perhaps even you. I don't think the handwriting was faked. It comes down to trust. Do you trust Albedo? Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, he's our friend. We should keep the faith. And if he really is the culprit, he must have had a reason, right?
You're already assuming he's the culprit. Boo, Paimon, boo.
Yeah, that must be it.
Either way, a fair investigation means coming to a conclusion presented by the facts. Does that mean even Venti no longer believes in him? Remaining objective has its own value, remember? None of this is your fault. Just report back with an honest assessment of the facts.
Yeah. Well, let's go find Jean and tell her what we learned.
Yes, we shall. Oh.
Wait, that's Miles. What's he doing here?
Oh, sorry. I heard voices and wasn't sure if I should check who was inside.
Uh-huh, sure.
It's okay. We're here on Jean's orders.
Ah, I see. I'll, leave you to it then.
Miles, you're acting sus.
Hold on. You didn't hear what we were saying, did you?
Oh, not really. Nothing that made sense anyway.
Well, do us a favor and just forget anything you might have heard, okay?
Oh, sure. You got it.
That map we
Definitely
found in
not
the hidden
sus.
compartment seems important. We should check out the marked locations.
Go to the location. I thought we were supposed to report to Jean. I guess we're not reporting to Jean. We're going straight to locations after all, which is what I wanted to do. But then the game was like, we should report it to Jean. And now the game is like, no, actually, never mind. Go there. So I shall go there. Let's see what we can find. I'm looking for a body. Has anyone here seen a body? Make sure I'm in the exact right location. It's near the cliff. Yeah, it should be around here. There it is.
We should be getting close. Oh, look over there! Something seems off.
Interesting. The place is warm. Whatever this thing is, it's giving off warmth, so I don't freeze. Interesting. Carefully examine the ground. It hasn't been smoothed over, though. Although everything is covered in snow, as a seasoned adventurer, you notice a spot with the on the ground that looks quite different from its surroundings. You remove the snow and find a sizable hole underneath, large enough to fit a human body. But the hole is completely empty, and the surrounding markings make it look like something was dug up. Did an animal do this? Or some monster?
Weird. There's a hole, but no body. The prosecution's argument is that Albedo used alchemy to destroy the bodies. But this location is different from the other two. Why not fill the hole? Or smooth out the ground like the other places?
Yeah. If one person did all this, why not remove the traces like the others? And if Albedo isn't the one responsible, why was this location marked in his notes? You return to the Knights of Favonius, doubts swirling in your mind. Well, now we report to Jean. We have returned. You're back. Did you find anything? Well, see, I found the third location. No body, though.
None of it helps Albedo's case.
You tell Jean about your findings from Albedo's office. I see. A complicated result, but your efforts are appreciated. Did Albedo submit an appeal? Yes, he asked for a retrial. There are still questions surrounding the identities of the victims and the disappearance of the bodies. The minimal remains that were uncovered have been sent for forensic analysis, which should provide some answers. It's just...
What's wrong?
If the victims turn out to be Mondstadt citizens, the situation becomes all the more serious. The second trial would likely have to be open to the public. And I doubt public sentiment will be in Albedo's favor.
Yeah, not when the charges are so serious.
The second trial is set to take place in 2 days. I hope you consider attending this one as well.
Of course, we'll be there. In the meantime, we should all just stay positive.
I'd rather not. Well said. When the time comes, I'll carry out my duty to the best of my ability. Miles. Miles is listening in everywhere, interestingly enough. Wait until 2 days later. I love waiting. My favorite part of playing Genshin. 1, 2. 2 days. How lovely. Oh boy. Anyway, part of me wanted to mention a few things about the 1K special today, but I feel like I should only mention that when it's actually a stream where there's more people around.
We should meet up with Jean. It's about time for the second trial.
So, I shall hold off. But yeah, part of me was like, hey, maybe I can use this stream productively and talk about some ideas for, like, when I could hold the 1K special. But I guess I'll bring that up in the next stream where there's more people around, and then drop it on, ask on Discord as well. Ah, you two, let me know if you're ready and we'll head out. Ready. Alright, follow me. Retrial. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we now convene for the second trial against Mr. Albedo. I, Jean Gunhilder, will once again oversee the proceedings. Representatives on both sides remain unchanged, and Mr. Dahlia will continue to serve as assessor. Ms. Hertha represents the prosecution, and Mr. Kaya speaks on behalf of the defense. The defendant in this case is Mr. Albedo, captain of the investigation team. With that, I now bring this trial to order. Let's see what kind of evidence we have. I mean, we haven't found anything good, but maybe Albedo has something he can say now. Miss Hertha, have the investigators made any new discoveries?
Yes. We sent the teeth and the femur bone found at the scene to the church's medical office, and were able to conclude that these are, in fact, human remains. In addition, the investigators were able to identify several Mondstadt citizens who appear to have been missing for quite some time. Forensic analysis of the remains allowed us to pinpoint the age and gender of the deceased. Interestingly, one of the missing individuals matches that profile to a T. The medical office couldn't spare
Things
the
aren't
personnel,
looking good.
So Miss Rosaria is here to present the results to the court.
Hanselman, male, 46 years old. Marital status, single. Occupation, hunter. Consistent with the conclusion in the last trial, his disappearance went unreported, likely due to his lack of relatives. In addition, medical record shows that he has sustained a mechanism-related injury to his leg 3 years ago. The damage on the femur bone Mr. Diluk found is consistent with such an injury. Therefore, we can conclude that one of the victims in this case is Hanselman. A specialized technique was likely used to accelerate the rate of decomposition.
Is it reasonable to assume this technique to be alchemical in nature?
Alchemical or magical, both are possible.
Thank you for your testimony.
The identity of one of the victims is now confirmed. But what about the defendant's motive?
Considering what he wrote in the letter, we can deduce that the defendant needed subjects for an alchemy experiment. Who better than individuals whose disappearance would go unnoticed?
Yeah, things are really not looking too hot for you
In
right
other
now,
words,
are they?
he sacrificed the good people of Mondstadt for his own gain. A truly vile act. In addition, another witness has agreed to testify. Miss Donna, if you would.
Another one, huh?
Wait, Donna from the flower shop?
I'm sorry it took so long for me to come forward. But the night Master Diluc saw Mr. Albedo, I was there too.
Is that why she feels so strange about him now? Huh?
I was camping with a friend and we decided to stop near Dragonspine. I couldn't really get comfortable that night, so around dawn, I decided to go for a walk. And that's when I saw Master Diluc.
She seems a bit nervous.
I thought it might be nice to,
Wonder
chat.
if that's just because,
So
talking about this stuff, or if it's
and
because she
then I
is making
saw
shit
it.
up.
Someone at the bottom of the cliff was getting rid of a body. I was terrified the person might see me. Even after I fled, I couldn't shake that fear. And I started to wish I never had a crush on Master Diluc in the first place. If I hadn't wanted to talk to him, I would never have been in that situation. Well, I didn't want to come forward because I was scared. But Miss Hertha convinced me it was the right thing to do. I'm sorry it took me so long.
I see. Just stepping forward was brave enough, Miss Donna. Eckhart thanks you for your courage and commitment to justice.
Yes. Thank you.
The two witnesses corroborate the same sequence of events. That just leaves the question of how the defendant disposed of the bodies.
I believe the answer lies in the alchemical technique mentioned in the letter.
Yeah,
The
sadly we
defendant is the
found
most
something
accomplished
up
alchemist
in
in
his lab.
Mondstadt. He has the skill, no question.
We found stuff in his office that he could have used. A special investigator also uncovered some relevant evidence on that subject. I will now present it to the court. Yeah.
Wait, does she mean...
Yeah, we kind of. The evidence we found in Albedo's office. The following are pieces of evidence uncovered in Mr. Albedo's office, the most important of which is this map. Yep. Those are the locations. This map was found with the defendant's notes. The markings correspond with the descriptions in the letter and the locations of the crime scenes. Does this map belong to you? Yes. Were you the one who marked these locations? Yes. You do realize that's basically an admission of guilt, don't you? The evidence against you is nearly insurmountable. No. Since you uncovered that since you uncovered that compartment, I might as well expound on the matter.
We have witnesses and physical evidence. What could you possibly say in your defense?
Well, I always have. I never killed a single person.
Ugh, you have some nerve. Saying that when the evidence is stacked against you?
Miss Hertha, you've presented a meticulous and convincing case. I'll give you that, but I will not admit to something I didn't do.
So, what? You're just going to bombard the court with excuses?
That's a rather dismissive way to refer to an innocent man speaking in his own defense. Besides, I'm not making excuses. I'm exercising patience.
That won't make the charges against you disappear, Mr. Albedo.
Perhaps not, but patience comes with its own reward. It's easy for things to remain buried in snow, until someone comes along and brushes it away. Albedo seems serious but unfazed. Does that mean he really didn't do anything untoward? He mentioned brushing off the snow. Is that supposed to be a hint? If it was a hint, then it must have something to do with Dragonspine, which reminds me of one of the locations marked on the map we found was in Dragonspine, wasn't it? Code, you were the one who uncovered the notes, right? And I'm assuming you visited the third location marked on the map as well. Yes? Can you tell us what you found? You nod your head and give an honest account of the scene you found on Dragonspine. Whatever was kept in the hole was gone, and the surrounding area bore markings of an unknown creature. With everything covered in snow, no one knew there was something to discover in the first place.
Then, there must also have been a body.
I need to think about this. What clues am I missing? Third marked location, interpret. Third marked location is in Dragonspine. We only knew about it because we found the map in the hidden compartment. During our investigation, Paimon and I discovered a hole beneath the snow big enough to hide a human body. There were also claw marks around the outside, but there was no body or any remains whatsoever. first location is near Mondstadt. Beatrice saw Albedo use alchemy to dig a hole and bury a body there. A single men's shoe and torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes nearby. Taken together, this evidence seemed to suggest that that Albedo killed someone and concealed the body. And the second marked location is where is between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery, where Diluc saw Albedo bury the body of an adult male. Diluc described nearly the same events as Beatrice. There's no reason for them to collude against Albedo, so their testimony should be trustworthy. Diluc found teeth and a femur bone at the scene, and Donna confirmed his version of events because she was also there that night. The two should have no reason to set Albedo up. Despite her crush, Donna wouldn't lie about something like that just to get Diluc's attention. Not to mention, Donna has been acting strange since before the trial. Human remains, interpret. According to the forensic results, the teeth and femur bone belong to a Mondstadt citizen, and the witness account suggests that Albedo was the last person to come into contact with this body. Did Albedo really use alchemy to reduce the body to a few bones? And does that mean he's the killer? Associate the third location. I'm going to associate with the human remains. No, that doesn't make sense. In that case, I'm going to go... because that's the only other location that has anything to do with Dragonspine, because it's somewhat nearby. Yep. Differences between the marked locations. Interpret. Albedo marked these 3 locations on the map found in the hidden compartment. There are some similarities and differences between them. Based on what we know, all 3 locations were likely used to hide bodies. The holes dug in each area certainly seem big enough. But, unlike the first 2 locations, there were claw marks around the hole in the 3rd location, and no witnesses saw anything happen there. Dragonspine is home to all manner of monsters and wild animals. Could some kind of creature have dug up the body? But why wasn't that the case in the other locations? The marks didn't look fresh, which means the hole at the 3rd location has been there longer than the other 2. But if the hole at the 3rd location wasn't made around the same time, does that mean it's connected to a separate incident? Dragonspine has a frigid climate and is covered in snow all year round. Even so, it's home to various monsters and creatures that can withstand the cold. Deep within the mountains lies the remains of an even more mysterious creature, Durin. Although the dragon has been dead for a long time, he still possesses a particular life energy. Now that I think about it, a lot of strange things have happened on Dragonspine. Most people know Albedo as an alchemist and the captain of the investigation team. But in truth, he's the Kreide Prince, a synthetic human created by one of the 5 sinners, Gold Rhindaughter. Albedo is steadfast, intelligent, and treats everyone with kindness and respect. I think most people would agree with that assessment. He's also a calculated thinker. It's fair to say that if he did commit a crime, it would likely be well concealed. Up until now, Albedo has never displayed any ill will towards humanity, and he also still seems like his normal self. As his friend, I shouldn't reveal the truth about his identity. That would only make things worse for him. But I can associate it with the ecosystem. Encounters on Dragonspine. I almost forgot. Paimon and I once encountered someone on Dragonspine who looked exactly like Albedo, and we weren't the only ones. There it is! Finally! I've been saying it! I've been saying it the entire time, that there was an Albedo imposter. And that we never ended up truly killing the Albedo imposter. At least we never confirmed the kill. So there it is. Wait a second, someone who looks exactly like him. Submit. I'm guessing Albedo has a plan, so I should help him out. But what does he want me to do? Announce a break in the case? No, I should play it safe. Since I made an honest assessment of the facts, I should be honest about my doubts too. It's only fair. Besides, I think I understand what Albedo was trying to tell me just now. I get that this should be voice acted. Again, we're missing out on so many main character voice lines because of this fucking strike that isn't even a strike. Please, 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 Hoyoverse, I beg you. Just, if the VAs don't return, just replace them. You've done it with Kinich, do it with the others too. I'd like to address the court if I may. I was the one who investigated the office, and I believe the results raise a few questions. Regarding the 2 cases addressed in the previous trial, it was established that, after disposing of the bodies, the defendant used alchemy to restore the ground to its original state. But that wasn't the case at the 3rd location. The hole was still there, with dirt scattered around the perimeter. It looked more like something had been dug up. If this was all done by one person, why wasn't the 3rd scene given the same treatment as the others? Why weren't the traces removed? In addition, the markings around the 3rd location weren't fresh, which suggests that the Dragonspine incident happened at a different time. For those reasons, I believe there is still reasonable doubt in this case, and I hope the verdict reflects that. Thank you. Astute as ever, Code.
Questions there may be, but allow me to point out, there is no evidence to suggest that anyone besides the defendant knew about the 3rd location. And the map was found in his notes. That fact alone makes him the most plausible suspect. Unless Mr. Albedo suddenly plans to deny that the map belongs to him.
Allow me to respond to Code's point. If all I cared about was proving my innocence, I would indeed do as you described, Miss Hertha, and deny any connections to that map. But that is not what I intend to do. The map does belong to me, and I did hide things at those 3 locations.
What?
There were indeed bodies at each location, and I did kill and bury someone on Dragonspine.
Ha! So you admit it. Let the record reflect that the defendant has confessed to his crimes.
You're mistaken, Miss Hertha. The story doesn't end there. Yup, we'll bring back the imposter. Some time ago, I encountered an uninvited guest on Dragonspine, someone who wanted to take advantage of the deserted nature of the region to eliminate me in secret. His desire to kill me led to an altercation where I killed him instead, and buried the body on the mountain, the 3rd location marked on the map.
Actually, the traveler Amber Bennett and I were with Albedo that day.
We can verify this.
The Adventurers Guild was holding an event on Dragonspine. After it ended, we all left the area.
To be fair, that has been forever ago, and I guess I understand why there was the option to go for a recap.
If the person Albedo is referring to is different from the one we encountered on the mountain, then the altercation must have occurred after we left.
This only proves that the defendant is guilty on all counts. Those innocent people, their blood is on your hands.
How does that prove that, though? No, you're wrong.
You deny it? After admitting to murder for the whole court to hear? You've clearly lost your mind.
If you would let me finish, Miss Hertha, I could get to the important part. The man who attacked me on Dragonspine was my height, with blonde hair and blue eyes, dressed in clothes nearly identical to mine. Oh, so someone who happens to look exactly like you. Exactly like him? So I was right, it does come back to what happened back then. I was right, I called it right from the very beginning. The second the topic came up of Albedo being accused of a crime, I was immediately like, oh, it's his imposter. Did I call it or did I call it?
It's one thing to look similar, but for the clothes to be the same?
What's going on? I don't want to be here anymore.
Regardless, the important thing is that you admit to killing someone on Dragonspine.
Yes, I killed someone that day, someone who looked nearly identical to me. But I never said that someone was a person. I see. It appears I need to withdraw my testimony.
What?
Everyone! I brought her!
Wait, you...
Oh?
The person who just came in, isn't that Hertha?
What's going on? We have an
Who
imposter
are you?
here?
Why do you wear my face? Hello to you, too.
As you can see, this is Hertha, the logistics captain of the Knights of Favonius.
I see what's going on here. It's all been leading up to this, hasn't it? Your confession. It was all an elaborate stunt to set me up.
The imposters returned! I was not expecting the Hertha to be an imposter, but it would make sense for why she was so hostile.
You want to undermine my credibility? Fine. It doesn't eliminate the mountain of evidence stacked against you. All I want is justice for the people of Mondstadt.
Order in the court. I've been stationed on Dragonspine all these years because that is where the subject of my research lies, the dragon Durin. Several hundred years ago, the Dragon of the East, Dvalin, defeated Durin in battle, and, with help from Barbados, sealed his remains on Dragonspine. Durin was created through alchemy, one of the finest specimens of artificial life. As such, death was not a true end for him. His heart still beats and grows, more vitalized by the day. My imposter on Dragonspine was a failed specimen, abandoned in Durin's stomach, an unsuccessful iteration of the homunculus project.
Homunculus?
Are you trying to insinuate that I'm some kind of homunculus? Because it looks to me like the artificial one is standing right there. Some kind of imposter you dragged in from Dragonspine.
Alright, so how do we prove who's real?
So this is what I look like when I fly off the handle. You know, they say imitation is the best form of flattery, but your impersonation has overstayed its welcome.
I like how her name is question mark and then the title is just a common looking her.
Master Jean, what are you waiting for? We've known each other for so long. You recognize the real me, don't you?
The two of you look identical, but judging based on demeanor, the new arrival actually seems more like the Hertha I know.
That means nothing. By that logic, I could just as easily accuse the Albedo in this room of being an imposter. How do we know he isn't the fake one? A cold-blooded killer who replaced the real Albedo long ago. Then, how about something only the real Hertha would know? The longest scar on my body. The knights who fought alongside me that day should remember where it is.
Oh?
I remember. Let's hear your answer.
I'd like to hear Miles' answer first.
Huh?
Miles?
Are
we saying, is that why he was sneaking around? Because he's also an
You don't
imposter?
know? Or you don't remember? I heard you've been acting strange these days. Disoriented? Confused? You were closer to me than anyone during that battle. And yet you don't remember a thing. Strange indeed.
No, my head. It hurts.
The scar is right here.
Why she looks so nervous, huh? Why the nerves? I can't imagine this comes as a surprise. Unless your informant in the Knights of Favonius failed to mention the scar on Hertha's left arm. Ha!
Albedo has done a lot of research into beings like you. If you deny it, then show us your arm.
No need to panic. You can just add it now. You excel at changing your appearance, don't you? Or should I say, all spawn of Durin's life force have that ability. A powerful life force, an appearance you can change at will. Yet here you stand, formless one, paralyzed to act, because you're worried using that power could affect your accomplices. Accomplices? Then Miles must be one of them. There are others too. Most of the beings under the influence of Durin's life force have gathered here, and yet their presence is what impedes her from taking action. Once you attempt to transform, all who surround you will be affected by your power. You can't control it because in this network of living beings, you serve as the core.
Show us your arm. Ugh! Have it your way!
Whoa!
Come on, let's go!
That's a lot of violence all of a sudden.
Hey, they're shielding the imposter!
Fights breaking out in the courtroom. She's trying to get away. Stop her. Don't let anyone stand in your way.
There are others trying to get in. Must be more people under her control.
Time to get moving, everyone.
Whoa! She just leaped across the room!
After her!
It's time. All units move out. Third company, keep on the imposter's tail. Finally have a chance to talk, but before I explain the events of the past few days, I'd like to make a few things clear. First, I never killed any of my fellow citizens, and I never used human remains as part of an alchemical experiment. Second, the events of the past few days were all part of my plan. Most of the members of our order were in on it. As for the witnesses, Master Diluc picked up on the situation long before today's proceedings. Huh, well, that's quite an involved plan. Indeed. Follow me. So the entire trial was a sham to draw out the imposter again, huh? That it? Oh, you know things are real when the city is being invaded. And all monsters from Dragonspine, an attack is imminent, but fear not. We've been preparing for this. We've been monitoring the resurgence of Durin's life force. Its festering nature agitated these monsters. We knew it was only a matter of time before they advanced on Mondstadt. And so, we made preparations for an inevitable battle. I was hoping you two would join me and provide assistance in the battle to come.
Of course. Where's our first stop?
The top of the city hall. The top of the city hall, okay. Oh hey, look who's here! Mona!
Master Jean, headquarters should be secure for now. We responded in time and had enough manpower. We can even spare some for mobile support across the region.
Good, our intel suggests that the monsters from Dragonspine could be disguised as Mondstadt citizens. Be sure to exercise caution. Ah! Part of me was hopeful, like, maybe Mona is voice active, she's not a necessary part of the story, but oh, nope, never mind. Oh, and my divination revealed there are also regular people under the influence of some strange power. Not all of them are monsters. Yes, so for those people, their aim is to subdue, not harm. Before you attack, make sure to figure out what you're dealing with.
Understood.
Alright, so they're busy. Ah, perfect timing, Code. I was hoping you three could form a mobile unit to help respond to the various threats in the area. It's been a while, Code. I'm also here to help. Jean and I are going to remain here to monitor the situation. We'll leave the other locations to you. Don't worry, my scry glass doesn't show the slightest chance of failure. Victory will be ours. I mean, one would imagine victory will be ours. I mean, I have plot armor, so... Alright, Venti, hello.
Hey, Venti!
Shoot, someone's coming. Help me, please, someone help me.
What's with the freak out? It's just us.
Ah, perfect, I can drop the act. Sorry, I thought you were regular citizens. It's about time. I think we can proceed as planned. I agree. Now, it's been a while since I've dealt with something this big. It's going to be pretty exhausting. Don't worry, I'll treat you to something to drink for your trouble. Just what I wanted to hear.
So, these two know the other's identity then?
People can make new friends when they're not here, when we're not here, you know. Once I started searching from Dragonspine during the trial, they soon became agitated, likely in response to the core coming under pressure. Still, I never expected those monsters to have become this advanced. The power of evolution cannot be underestimated, especially considering the fact that Durin absorbed the previous imposter.
Wait, so what about the map? And the missing bodies?
What the witnesses saw is true. I did hide those bodies. As I monitored the situations on Dragonspine, I noticed that many who ventured there came back different. Some were under the influence of Durin's power, but the less fortunate ones had already been devoured by monsters, who then assumed their appearance to infiltrate the city. Most of those who were replaced had no close relatives, so when the behavior changed, there was no one to notice. The monsters used their disguise to get close to people and eliminate two who had attempted to attack. I eliminated two who had attempted to attack.
What about the remains Diluc found? Did they belong to one of the victims?
Yes. Monsters slowly digest their victims. Sometimes they even left behind body parts to aid the transformation. All that remained of the first victim was a few strands of hair, and the second some teeth and bone. The only bodies Albedo destroyed were the monster's mimic forms. Then he buried whatever remained of the victims to put them to rest. Well, someone had to do it. Besides, I managed to gather some valuable data on the putrefaction of the bodies. After we defeated that doppelganger Wobbleflower and Dragonspine, we promised to tell each other a story, remember? You told me the story of a gardener, I remember. I'm glad. Then you remember what I told you about Subject 2? In his pursuit to replace Subject 1, he transformed Wobbleflower into Subject 3. So there was another imposter on Dragonspine that day. Yes, which is why I said that we never truly eliminated the threat. Yes. That would be Subject 2. I confronted him and buried his body on Dragonspine. So, you see, at one point, there was something hidden in that hole you found. But Durin is becoming more revitalized by the day. Under the influence of his power, the monsters dug up Subject 2's body and returned it to Durin's stomach. Durin absorbed the failed creation along with his knowledge and way of thinking. Ever since then, all creatures spawned from his power had the ability to transform their appearance. Humans who venture into Dragonspine for too long are also bound to fall under Durin's influence, but those effects don't show themselves right away, and the extent to which a person has been affected is hard to perceive. You said for yourself, didn't you? All the people acting strange. Those are the same people who just tried to break into the Knights of Favonia's headquarters. Durin's power remained dormant within them till, finally, it surged to the surface and seized control. That was also our goal. If we could force a situation where the imposter had no choice but to unleash that power, all those under its influence would become violent, and thus, we would know who was affected.
Wait, so... what do we do? We can't go around hurting innocent people!
Yes, we can, so long as we don't risk any permanent injuries to them. That's why I'm here. It would make me look bad if I just lazed around after promising to help. He'll use the power of Animo to restrain them for now. That should give the knights a chance to subdue them without harm. A specialized team will deal with them later. Alright, that's the long and short of the situation. It's time to activate that thing, right? Yes! So, if there are little secrets other people shouldn't know, my identity for example, keep it to yourself, okay? Alright, this should do it. I see wind. And that will subdue them all, how?
Wind currents? Paimon's never seen this many!
There should now be wind currents across the whole city. Everyone, can you hear me? Loud and clear. All units, what's your status?
All good. We have enough manpower to provide support. Requesting assistance at the side gate. Heading over now.
Whoa! It's long-distance wind communication! How is that even possible?
I mean, power of an Archon, even without the Gnosis. It's all thanks to Lord Barbados. With his blessing, we will succeed in defending our city. Actually, if you face away from the current and whisper like this, no one can hear you.
No wonder you're crouching down there like you have something to hide.
You didn't have to broadcast that.
Huh? That voice? Venti? Is that you?
Oops.
You know, just a wandering Bard calling for help. Thank goodness CodeErr and Albedo found me. Got me out of a tough spot. Right, now that you're okay, we should go check on the status of the other areas. Thanks, friend. May the Anima Archon protect you. I've got things covered here. Do you? One would hope. Meanwhile, Sucrose is just standing there doing alchemy, I guess. I don't like being in the middle. I don't like being in the middle like this, especially on a bridge. Oh, look who it is. Get back! Phew, that was a close one. I suppose thanks are in order, Master D. Luke. I appreciate the help. No need. I didn't intervene to save you. It was for my own conscience. You were in my way. Oh? Well, let me get out of your hair then. I suppose we could work together, but you would just melt my eyes anyway. Suit yourself. Alright, tell me. When did you notice something was off? First trial. Not because of the fake Hertha? No, because of you. Me? What did I do? My defense wasn't passionate enough? No, you weren't nervous enough. Tell me, Master D. Luke. Tell me then, Master D. Luke. When do you think I actually get nervous? Suppose we'll see, won't we? Monsters incoming. On second thought, best not to think about it. Well, oh great! I get to do the character trial.
Freeze! Oh, so sad.
How dare they attack? Anything else? Yep.
Dodge this! This moment will be frozen in time.
Can I get him? Oh, no, wait, we got another one. I mean, okay, you can't really do much right now. Gotta get rid of the ice layer first. Okay, now I can do stuff.
Don't get frostbite.
Alright, that's their part done.
They're over there! Dilu, Kaya!
If you had time to make it out here, I'm guessing the other areas are secure.
What? We can't be here because we care?
Maybe this was just the closest spot to the city gate. Maintaining control of the main road means maintaining control of the battle as a whole. You made the right choice.
So what's the status over here?
All under control, don't worry. My trusty civilian volunteer and I have this area covered. I think you mean the man who held the title of cavalry captain before you. We don't have to bring that up. Well, keep up the good work. We'll go check on the status of the other locations. Good luck. Oh, and I want to thank you for what you said in court. If I'm not mistaken, you were on my side by the end. Believe me, I had these suspicions since the first trial. I suppose it just didn't feel right to believe that someone who helped me in the past could be a cold-blooded killer.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Thank you for trusting me, and for choosing to fight alongside us. As for you, Kaya, good work as always. Well, we'll see you soon. Of course, stay safe. And off we run. Fischl! You know we're safe when Fischl is fighting. Get close to the injured Knights of Rhonius and use her elemental skill to heal them. Can do. Hey, guy. Oh, come on. You are totally healed. Are you kidding me? And I gotta wait for the cooldown. There. Now get up, Otto. You little bitch. Ah, yet another character.
Alright, you should be on the mend.
Thank you so much, Miss Barbara. Things are still quite chaotic outside. It's best if you all remain inside the cathedral for now.
You're not rushing back out to the front line, are you? You're still injured.
Don't worry, Miss Barbara. I'll try not to put myself in harm's way. I can help with the logistics from the back.
Well, maybe we can give you a hand. As you said, the situation outside is chaotic. Injured parties should not be left unattended. There are others here who need to get back to the front line, so I'll escort you all myself.
Of course. Thank you, Miss Rosaria.
Just doing my job. I'll leave the cathedral to you then, Barbara. You can count on me. I don't really know how all this started, but I do know that Jean and the others have been preparing for this for a really long time, so I think everything will be alright. No, it has to be. Did I catch you at a bad time, Barbara? No, not at all. Did you need something? I just wanted to tell you that over the next few days, a lot of things are going to happen in Mondstadt. Attacks and fighting, so I need you to take care of yourself. Huh? How do you know? Albedo warned us in advance. It has something to do with Dragonspine, and he's our authority in that region. So we should take him at his word. Dragonspine, huh? So the city's going to be in danger? Yes, but the Knights of Favonius will do whatever we can to protect the people. But then, who will protect you? Don't worry, I'll look out for myself, I promise. Please let them be okay out there.
I can't believe it! We have an NPC who isn't voice acted. Remove Grace from the game entirely, please and thank you.
Sister Barbara, could you lend me a hand? Of course, coming.
Screw Grace, entirely unnecessary character. Like, honestly, is it getting tiring at this point how much I'm complaining about the lack of VAs? You wanna know what's getting even more tiring? The lack of VAs. At this point, it's really not even funny anymore. Like, it's just annoying, in all honesty. You wonder why I don't really appreciate Genshin as much anymore as I used to? Well, this is a big factor in it.
Here, prepare for battle. On guard, everyone. Incoming monsters at 11 o'clock. Looks like we've got 21 Hilichurls, 2 Blazing Axe Matachurls, and a bunch of different slimes. Prepare elemental countermeasures.
Roger that.
Bet you can't keep up with me. Hey!
Alright, fine, I'll distract you then. Oh, come on. I didn't even see those guys. Alright, there we go. Sometimes you forget how weak her ult is.
Get him!
All units are now in position.
Bertha! Ah, jeez, your voice scared me just now.
What? Still caught up in the imposter incident? I thought you knew about the plan.
Well, after you up and disappeared one day, all Master Jean told me was that you'd be gone for a while on an important mission, and that it'd be better if people thought you were dead. And
well, ain't that lovely?
What do you know? Someone who looks exactly like you appears out of nowhere 2 days later. If Master Jean hadn't told me about your mission, I would have fallen for it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, that's quite a scary thought. I get chills just thinking about a monster replacing someone close to you, and you're none the wiser. Don't worry, once this is all over, these monsters won't be a threat to us again. Albedo, Are you okay? The trial wasn't too hard on you, was it? I am sorry I couldn't be there. I was so worried. Same here. I thought it was all real at one point. I was in complete shock. So you didn't know, Amber? It seems you lot did an excellent job at keeping the situation under wraps. And no need to worry, you two. I'm no worse for wear. Sounds like you are alright. She's like an impenetrable wall, that one. You're not getting a secret out of her.
Yeah, for sure. She's someone you can really count on.
Wait, so how did you decide Hertha should disappear again? After all this fighting, I can't seem to get it straight.
It was Kaya's suggestion. He said the plan would work best with someone well-known and reputable, without being too high profile. Naturally, Miss Hertha was the perfect choice. We needed to leave a hole in our organization, so she came up with the idea that she would disappear. Ah, so that explains the rumor that someone had fallen during a mission. Of course, it didn't take long for that to get resolved. No, because the imposter fell right into our trap. It was all part of the plan. First, we spread the rumor that Hertha was missing in action after some kind of incident. The news came from Kaya and Hertha's direct subordinates, which was important because we needed it to be credible. The imposter saw the gap in our ranks and couldn't help but take the bait. It didn't take long for the fake Hertha to appear in the Knight's patrol route, claiming to have survived her mission.
When did that happen?
Over 6 months ago.
Wait, that long?
Whoa, so
6
this
months
has been
ago!
a long time in the making.
So she... That all happened around the time that the voice actors vanished. Honestly, if all the voice actors now get replaced by imposters, I wouldn't complain. I would trust the imposters more than some of the actual voice actors that are still hoping to participate here. Give us imposters. Give us fakes for the voices, please. Just do anything.
Yes, and our enemy was more meticulous than we expected. Monsters have been searching for Hertha's body in order to protect the imposter's identity, which is a way more advanced way of thinking than Subject 2. Huh. So we had to wait long enough to convince the fake Hertha that she had our trust. Furthermore, we needed to give her time to gather evidence against me and convince herself she had enough to strike.
But how did the Knight's internal information even reach Durin and his monsters?
There's an informant among our ranks.
Don't worry, Barbados already tracked her down. She doesn't have his blessing, so she can't hear what we're talking about right now.
Honestly, this whole situation almost gave Paimon a heart attack. All those awful accusations in the first trial, and you couldn't even defend yourself!
It was to be expected. I couldn't just reveal the truth. It had to be at the right moment, or it would have been given the imposter even more fuel to use against me. She would have demanded to know how I knew about Dragonspine and the monsters in the skies. And if my true identity got out, the public's trust in me would be gone. It was a trap, you see. Argue back and expose my origins, or keep my mouth shut and be seen as a murderer. Credit where credit is due, it was well thought out.
Yeah, thank goodness we were able to back her into a corner.
Indeed. And I have you to thank for that, Code. You probably don't know it, but you've been part of the plan since the beginning. Me? But I didn't even know there was a plan! And for that, you have my sincere apologies. I know I kept you in the dark, but I had a reason. This might not sound intuitive, but I did it to make the plan even stronger. From the beginning, I knew I had to leave the letters in my office for a fair and independent reader to discover. Someone willing to seek the truth. Naturally, I thought of you. I knew you would return for Windbloom, I knew you would agree to attend the trial, and I knew your sense of responsibility and justice as an honorary knight would compel you to start your own investigation. The fake Hertha, Subject 2, has met you on Dragonspine before. If she thought even you had lost faith in me, her confidence might get the best of her. The perfect time for us to strike. Albedo's right. You are part of our plan from the start. I hope you don't take offense at our decision to keep that from you. And please, don't be too hard on Albedo. He was just doing his best to look out for Mondstadt. Enough people were involved in the plan as it was. We had no other choice.
See, I knew that there was imposter. Now, I didn't know about Hertha being the target. But honestly, if I was there, I would have immediately started spouting the nonsense about... Well, not nonsense. Spouted the truth about the fact that there is an imposter in Dragonspine. Because I knew it that much, at least.
The Honorary Knight and Paimon will always be friends of Mondstadt. We will never forget that.
Aw, that means a lot.
Thank you for thinking of me. It was an honor to take part.
It is us who should be thanking you, Honorary Knight.
Wait, was that you just now? Let's go to the side gate to check it out.
Quite a few spots to check out, huh? I guess the closest spot is over here. Hello, Diona.
These darn things are more annoying than disgusting booze hounds. Albedo, Code, if you run into anyone who needs a safe place to wait this out, feel free to send them to the Cat's Tail. I'll be here to watch over things so the town will be safe.
Thank you, Diona. I will be sure to do just that. Alright, gotta check everywhere. Bennett! Hello.
Gotta say, when I saw you on the
Bennett
side of
has
the
a
road,
voice!
I thought you were hurt.
Let's go!
Not about to whack me in the head.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry about that. I was trying to run away, but I just couldn't keep going, so I pretended to be unconscious. Thought I could at least land a surprise hit on a monster that way.
I get it. That's a pretty common tactic. Oh,
yes!
Traveler.
Yes, one of
Albedo,
the few people
you're
who
here.
have a voice.
You're looking for somewhere safe. Head to the Cat's Tail. Leona is sheltering people there. Anyone who needs help is welcome.
Got it. I'll take her there right away.
Who's this? His Miyabi. So is that why you're so glad that his voice is still a voice that exists? Oop. Oh, hello! This changed. Focus on the battle. We've got your back.
Burst forth.
Oh hey, I've never seen these guys in Mondstadt before.
I'll catch up.
Come into being.
Well, you're certainly a new sight around these parts. You've only shown up ever since Fontaine.
Feel this ancient power. Live.
How dare you show your face in Mondstadt?
Steady as stone.
I'm just gonna go up here. Do a little plunging attack.
Burst forth.
Alright, you really like this corner, huh?
As a good knight should. Leave it all to me.
Thanks for the help. It was over a lot faster than I expected. I'm sure you have places to be, so don't let me keep you. Rest assured, I'll keep the people around here safe. Be careful out there. I know victory will be ours.
Now, if I saw things correctly, then I should have saved the best for last, right, Fischl? No. Wasn't Fischl running around the streets as well? Where is she here?
Oh, cutie, it's you.
Okay.
It's you.
Well, Razor's voice acted. Good work, everyone. We're here to help. Apparently, Lisa is not voice acted, which is fair because who cares about her anyway?
Come into being.
only reason people care about Lisa is for her modes when climbing. And that's about it. As a character, I don't know if there's really any reason to care. People care about her for loot reasons, and that is it.
Whew, it's been a while since I unleashed my lightning during Wind Bloom.
It happened a lot before?
Unleashing lightning on people? No. Once in a while, maybe. It sure feels good to let loose, though. My old professor even wrote to me about that a few days ago. Of course, I made sure to emphasize that I always treat others with kindness. It's only natural for a student to inherit their teacher's ways, after all, and mine was an old man from the Spantamon school. So you see, this time I only used methods of electrocution, so even Jean would have no reason to intervene.
You really need to stop using that word. You like it way too much.
Huh. Gentle electrocution.
No.
You seem to be in good spirits, Miss Lisa. Well, it's good to move about every once in a while.
Alright. We made it to the side gate. Where end-user license agreement is awaiting us.
It's all my fault. I knew Clea was fast, but disappearing like this?
Oh no.
I only lost sight of her for 1 second. How am I going to explain this to Albedo?
No. I don't feel bad for Clea, I feel bad for the monsters that are about to experience Clea's wrath. In fact, actually, you know who I also feel really bad for? The cartographers. I feel like if Clea goes all out in this fight, the maps for Mondstadt are gonna have to be redrawn again. I know it happened before. I know it's happened at least once before. If Clea goes all out here, we're gonna need a new map again. Oh no. Oh no, oh no.
Albedo, Traveler, Paimon, what brings you here?
We're providing mobile support across the region. Was there something you needed to explain? You can tell me anything, I hope you know that.
Yeah, plus we kinda already heard what you said, so...
Just tell us, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Clea, she disappeared right under my nose. I'm sorry. I'm doing all I can to find her.
I see. Please don't beat yourself up. Clea is...
Wait! Something's coming this way, and it doesn't look pretty!
Alright, fighting first, conversation later.
Clea's fine. She can handle herself.
She was right next to me, and the next thing I knew, she ran off somewhere. I swear I only lost sight of her for a second.
Clea's known for speed, don't worry. There's a hideout for all she knows.
Well, there she is!
Oh, there you are. Clea's here to help.
Random Jumpty Dumpty out of the bushes.
See, kids are fast on their feet.
Those bombs. I see what you mean. She is not to be underestimated.
Feet to the rescue!
Burst forth.
Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core.
We won! Great work, Clea. I'll be counting on you to protect Eula next time, too.
Albedo, you can't be serious.
No problem. Just leave it to Clea. Are you going to patrol, Mr. Albedo? Clea heard you went camping for a few days, and these monsters followed you back home.
Camping? Ah, right. The truth isn't suitable for little ears.
That's right, so I need to report back to Master Jean to settle my expenses. If you have some time, I'm sure Eula would be grateful if you escorted her back to headquarters as well.
Of course. I place myself in your capable hands, Spark Knight.
Thank you, end-user license agreement.
Hey, it would be an honor. Clea will do her best.
Alright. Back to the center. Now what? We've supported everyone we can.
That should be it for now. Good work, everyone. How did we fare injury-wise? Good, our preparations paid off. Injuries are far and few between. I have the full record here. Wonderful, I'll review it in a bit.
We're back!
Everyone alright?
Amber?
Yep, right as rain. We're back! Click up, Miss Yula safe the whole way. That's amazing, Klee. Yula was lucky to have you. Looks like we're still missing a few. Reporting back, Master Jean. Mission complete. Good to have you back, safe and sound. And great work, everyone. This operation could not have happened without you all. Your leadership is what made it possible, Master Jean. It's been a busy few days. You should take a well-deserved break. I will, but I believe you deserve one most of all. My work isn't finished. I'm afraid I have a few loose ends to tie up. Loose ends? Ah, yes, of course. We can talk about back at headquarters. Code and Paimon should be there too. Alright, everyone who has finished their work should head back to their quarters or to the church to get some rest. Wanna come with us, Klee? We can drink some tea and eat some freshly baked moon pies. Yes, yes!
There they all go. It is sad to be back in Mondstadt after all this time and barely anyone talk. That's how you know this game is falling apart.
Hi, everyone. Venti, thank you for everything. I know there were difficult moments along the way. Oh, well, wait. Does that mean you saw me running for my life? No, apologies. Just forget I said anything. Just kidding. You're right. It was tough out there. I almost lost my hat to the wind several times. Any notable information on the wind? Of course. I was out on the city wall for quite some time. I heard all sorts of things. As for something notable, well, I picked up on anxious voices and a child's anger. Duran has been isolated for centuries, but absorbing Subject 2's emotions allowed him to understand certain truths about this world and his existence, including the fact that he's no longer Mother's only child. Or her most perfect creation. It's obvious that he found that fact difficult to accept. The emotions he felt in response were quite genuine and, dare I say, human. If I eliminate the perfect creation, I will be the only child Mother needs. This mindset arose out of Duran's instinct to compete and survive, and came to dominate all those around him. Of course, the absorption of Subject 2's knowledge allowed him to take a more intelligent approach, accusing me of murder. In the end, however, Duran still lacks sufficient social intelligence. The fact that his army even got this far is a miracle.
Oh, no wonder Venti sensed a child's anger through the wind.
That same feeling, it's close.
How close?
Miss Fonia, here to make your report.
Oh, nothing much to report, actually.
Is that so? During the battle, we were talking about your transfer to the 7th Company. You're in charge of patrols and post-battle reconnaissance this time. How did everything go?
Good. No problems.
I see. If you don't mind me asking, why did you come from that direction? And why are you alone? Did you think we were still meeting at the side gate? There was a change of plans. We sent the message over the wind in the last few minutes of the battle. There were a lot of changes during the operation, but I imagine you missed those as well, because you're under Duran's influence, and you have been since your trip to Dragonspine over 6 months ago.
Yeah, no running now. We have found the traitor.
Don't move. Let's continue this discussion back at headquarters. Don't be scared. I'll figure out a way to break you from his powers soon.
Restless as a child. Well, I think that went about as well as it could have. I think we got everything under control now.
Alright, the others are looking after Fonia. Please tell me you can help her. I can, as long as the rest of the operation goes well.
Wait, the operation isn't over. What do we do now?
What happens next is more of a personal project. I've consulted Venti about the possibility of calling a tripartite conference. Ah, yes. That's a relatively new tradition Grandmaster Varka came up with the idea a few years ago. I still remember when he approached me about asking the lovely ladies of the Hexen Circle for a small favor. The chumminess caught me off guard. If I hadn't known any different, I'd have thought he was talking about his older sisters or something.
Older sisters? Is Varka really young or something?
I wouldn't call him young, but he's not old either. He's the type to crack a joke at every opportunity, so whatever age that is. Indeed. Anyway, the tripartite conference is a gathering of 3 parties. The Hexen Circle, the Anime Archon, and the joint forces of the Knights and Church of Favonius. Lord Barbados was able to facilitate a meeting between Varka and the mages. Varka has quite a way with words, so he was able to gain their favor and convince them to agree to a very important request, namely, that in Mondstadt's greatest time of need, the mages would return and lend their aid to our nation. Yes. And now I have a request of my own, so I need the conference to convene it once again. Venti, if you would. Of course, Code, pass me the Dodo communication device.
Huh? You're gonna use that thing to call them?
I mean, you know. Heh, just watch and learn. Okay, I think this should do it.
What's that ringing? Is it the wind or something?
Must have been the wind. Hold on, that's not the right voice.
Wait. Barbados?
Varka? Grandmaster? Oops, I put in the wrong number. Sorry, Varka. You're probably busy right now.
Considering I'm surrounded on both sides with a group on my tail looking to turn me into mincemeat, yeah, I'd say so.
Ah, yes. Well, have fun with that. We can talk some other time.
All right, pass along my regards. Oh, and I still owe you for those drinks, don't I? Just take it from my stash. I keep it in...
Well, that was a bit of a teaser now, wasn't it? I'll take that as a teaser.
He was just about to tell us where to find his secret stash!
Don't tell me he hid it beneath the great tree of Windrise. That seems like a bit much.
Hello? Who is this?
Greetings, Miss Alice. It's Venti.
Venti? Nope, it doesn't ring a bell.
You're really gonna tease me like this? Fine, it's Barbados.
Apologies, just a bit of fun. What can I do for you, dear Barbados?
Nothing. Goodbye. You still remember the tripartite conference, right? I'm calling on behalf of a friend. He's asking for a meeting.
Oh? And which brave soul is it this time?
It's me, Aunt Alice. Albedo, captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team, requested a formal meeting with the Hexen Circle.
And what is your wish, dear Albedo?
I want to accomplish something unprecedented.
How unprecedented? Something even your mother Rhine-daughter never accomplished?
In terms of technique, no, but in terms of location and materials, yes.
Okay, that makes no sense.
You've piqued my interest. I'll be right there.
Be right where? Here, as in this office?
Hello again, everyone.
Absolutely adorable.
Hello, Aunt Alice. Hello, Aunt Alice. I see you've turned yourself into a giant Totoko.
Darling, isn't it? It even has its own hat.
Again, adorable.
Wow, the attention to detail.
Pleasure to see you all again. It's been a while.
Can I keep Alice as a pet?
On behalf of the Hexen Circle, I hereby grant Albedo's request. I'm guessing you still need to prepare? Take your time. Just come find me at the long table when you're ready.
Aw, that's nice of you.
I suppose it's just my nature, darling.
Thank you, Aunt Alice. Before we send out, there's someone you need to meet. Head to my office, he's waiting for you there.
Someone we need to meet, you say, huh? Now, who might that someone be?
Hey, have you ever wondered why Albedo always keeps his office closed? Paimon bets there's a secret snack stash hidden around here somewhere.
No. Whoop. Excuse me? Mini Durin?
Hey, not so loud.
Mini Durin? What are you doing here?
From a certain storybook, right?
Well, actually, kind of been helping you guys in secret this whole time. I tried tapping Paimon on the shoulder during the battle, but he floated away so too fast.
Not even Mini Durin is voiced! You were there?
Yeah, I've been in Mondstadt for a few days now, but I kept myself out of sight. I thought people might be scared of me.
Oh, don't worry. We aren't scared of you.
Heh, thanks.
So, what brings you here? Oh, is it Windbloom? There are a ton of fun games this time of year.
I did sneak off to the festival for a bit, even though I can't play the games because of all the people. I still had a lot of fun. But that's not why I'm here. Albedo and I made a promise to accomplish something great together.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna replace the Durin on Dragonspine. I'm gonna be the one who is revived and brought into this world.
Wait, didn't that already happen?
Yes.
You left the storybook world.
The book of...
And now you're
the book
here.
that was full of paper and toys and all that stuff.
Sorry, I should be more specific. Albedo said he can use alchemy to turn me into a human.
What?
Well, that is interesting. Albedo's a human transmutation. So you're Albedo's intended subject.
Yeah, he's been working on it for a long time.
And that's what you want, Mini Durin? To become human?
I don't know if want is the right word. I don't even know if there's a right answer to a situation like this. But I do know this. I have just as much of a right to this name. I don't want to lose to the other Durin.
Becoming human isn't as simple as just changing form.
I know, Albedo talked to me about that. He said the Durin of Dragonspine is a lot more aggressive and primitive, almost like a beast. But Mom created me in a storybook. The pure parts of me can balance out the evil parts of him. If I'm honest, I don't know what that will look like. If I can still be me once I become one with that part of him. Maybe without a complete soul, there was never really a me to begin with. Albedo said these kinds of questions are normal. We're all just trying to figure out who we are. But I'm not afraid of change. I want my life to have meaning. And suppressing an evil dragon, becoming human, both sound pretty meaningful to me. So don't worry, no one is forcing me to make this choice.
Well, turning you into a human sounds like a huge project. No wonder Albedo wants to get the mage's approval.
I can certainly see that.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to him. I'm kind of in the same boat, you know. Albedo told me he's the kind of prince, a synthetic human. And if this works, I'll be one too. We'll be the only two of our kind in the whole world. Alchemical creations allowed to live in human form. If all living things are grouped together by species, then there's only one other person like me in this world. I guess that makes us family.
Definitely. You've just gotta trust one another. Actually, while we're on the subject, does your friend Hat Guy know about this?
Yes, Hat Guy. Our friend Hat Guy. You remember Hat Guy? The person we met. Actually, we met Hat Guy before Sumeru, but we really delved into Hat Guy's story more. I mean, we really took him down in Sumeru. But we met him in Inazuma as well, and before that during an event in Mondstadt. We've known Hat Guy for a while.
Yeah, I told him I was coming here to fulfill this duty. He didn't try to stop me, he just told me to get a move on then. Didn't say it outright, but I think he supports my decision. Maybe he even thinks it's a good idea to go through with this. I'm a little scared, of course, but excited too. Anyway, I'm really glad I got to talk to you at a time like this. I feel a lot better now, so thanks.
Alright, Mini Durin, if you're so sure. Then let's go. to the mysterious room. It's time for the meeting. Party configuration cannot be changed during the Heads and Circles trial. Recommended elements. I have one recommended element. That's enough.
Welcome, one and all. Please sit wherever you like.
So, no unspoken rules to be aware of? I wanna unwittingly part myself down on some important lady's chair.
I highly doubt anyone's going to mind where you sit, Lord Barbados. But thank you for being so considerate. Jean didn't fancy tagging along?
What happened in the city today? If she left there really would be no one around to lead the Knights of Favonius.
All right, never mind. I was just hoping to treat her to some tea. Oh. So, tell me, Albedo, what is this outrageous and audacious plan of yours that I've been hearing murmurings about?
See, human Durin.
I'll get right to the point. I intend to kill the evil Durin in Dragonspine.
Oh?
And I'd also like to request some alchemical reagents from the Hexen Circle.
Which ones? I'm all ears.
First would be the flesh of that immortal monster from the Marjavari.
Interesting. What else?
The other is a portion of the embryo left by my mother, Rhine-daughter.
Ah, the raw material from which she created her monsters in the past. There's not much of it left. Dragon blood, monster flesh, and embryo. Sounds to me like a formula for creating life.
Correct. Durin's heart has continued to beat ever since the day he died. That means it's just a matter of time before he eventually returns. It could be centuries away or millennia, but the day will come. I've spent years investigating in Dragonspine, so I'm well aware of the danger he poses. He has already posed a considerable threat to Mondstadt at less than half of his original strength. There's no telling how dire the consequences could be if he ever regained his full life force. Hence, if we want to be free of the dangers posed by his blood and limitless vitality, we must find a way to eliminate Durin entirely. Unfortunately, Durin is a special entity. Even after death, he could reawaken at any moment. So the solution is to kill him and then resurrect him in a different form. Upon resurrection, he will no longer be the creature he once was. In fact, he will no longer be a monster at all, because I intend to transform him into a human-like being. During the summer, Klee and I visited a fairy tale world called the Simulanka. It was created by the mages from the Hexen Circle, so I'm sure you know of it.
Of course. It was even the home of one of M's children, the other Oh, I see.
The other Durin, yup.
It was during that journey that I learned with certainty that Durin would return to life one day. That experience inspired me. I met the pure soul M had created and knew if I wanted to change Durin's fate, he could be the key. To that end, I devised an alchemical model for the transmutation. The soul will come from the fairy tale dragon of Simulanka, the blood from the original dragon's heart, and the monster remnants for the Marjavari and the embryo mother left behind will form the flesh. The corrosive nature of the dragon venom and heightened vitality of the monster remnant will offset each other, keeping the constructed body in perfect balance. A powerful side effect can be triggered when festering forces and life energy collide, and in an alchemical setting, the results are sure to be nothing short of astounding.
The glint in your eye when you talk about these ideas. You really are your mother's child.
He's a mama's boy, and you can't blame him.
Do you see that as a bad thing, Aunt Alice?
Of course not. To me, you're both extraordinary individuals. I find you fascinating. In any case, now I see why you asked Venti for help. The raw materials you seek are extremely valuable. The misuse of even the tiniest amount could cause unimaginable chaos. That
well,
said,
then I guess we just gotta be
we're happy
cautious.
to give you what you need. But there is one condition. You need to prove you can wield them. And so, you must pass the Hexen Circle's trial.
I understand. I figured something like this might happen. That's why I asked Code to come along.
You're not even gonna try to talk me into it?
Oh, you need convincing? I thought you'd want to keep an eye on me. Who knows what sort of outlandish things I might attempt without someone to keep me in check.
Fine, I'm not going to argue with you.
So you know our tricks, huh?
Aunt Alice has always loved a spectacle, any chance to witness friends come together to support one another.
Well, success means little if you have no one to celebrate it with, no? Although, I'm afraid dear Paimon will have to sit this one out.
Like she would ever do anything in the first place.
The Hexen Circle trials are no walk in the park, my dear. Besides, I already decided on the structure. There's only room for 2 participants, I'm afraid. No more, no less. You understand, don't you, Paimon? Oh, don't be too angry with your dear aunt.
Okay. You can turn off the charm. Paimon will stay behind.
Good. Didn't want you around anyway.
Thank you for being so understanding. Then, whenever you two are ready, interact with the chessboard on the table. It will guide you through the trial.
And let me make a formal request. Will you go through this trial with me?
Of course.
Are you ready, Code?
Just about.
Then, my dear children, get ready for a taste of the Dodo King's magic.
I am ready for your magic. Whoa. And off we go. Oh no, we're getting shrunk.
It's certainly in keeping with the Hexen Circle modalities.
We've been shrunken down to chess piece size. Alice looks a little bit more menacing, but still adorable from this angle, with the red glowing eyes. This is certainly not a view I expected to see.
Whoa, you're so tiny now. Take extra care of yourselves, okay?
What is it?
Nothing, it's just Paimon's voice is even louder than usual. Now I'm this size. She's always so energetic and lively. Nothing can dampen her spirits.
Don't worry, you'll be back with her again in no time.
You sound pretty confident, Albedo.
Aunt Alice, I didn't realize you'd be personally conducting the trial.
Well, since your mother has to recuse herself, who better than I to put your abilities to the test? I have prepared quite a riveting new performance just for you two. See? Defeat them in battle. Prove to me that you have what it takes to achieve your goal. Swashbuckle your way to victory like gallant fairy tale heroes.
So what, defeat the chess pieces, or what do you expect me to do here? Okay, they just...
Coming to be! Coming to be! Witness my
Can I attack?
Strike
Set everyone
I'm
up.
flying! You can
Solidify!
Witness my great undertaking!
I'm not really witnessing anything right now, Albedo. Was not expecting to be fighting actual chess pieces. And oh god, that thing deals more damage than I thought.
by royal decree.
Witness my great undertaking!
Ramming speed!
Stabilize!
This is Field's ancient power! Live!
Redeploy that.
May I present?
Alright.
Feel this ancient power!
King and Queen.
Burst forth!
United front.
And of course, the moment the king is almost down, you bring the queen in. Feels a bit cheap. But I guess it makes sense that the queen would come into the king's defense.
Oh, brilliant!
Let's have a ball. It'll be fun.
Solidify!
Moment of birth.
By royalty.
Stabilize.
Okay, queen is down. Let's finish off the king.
Moment of birth.
And only Klee died. Because I didn't expect that thing to pack that much of a punch.
Ugh, it had to be this form? A toy really doesn't suit me.
Huh? This one doesn't seem like
Well
Alice.
done. But this isn't over. I will now preside over the second trial. Stare straight ahead, and you will see things as they appear. But change your perspective, and you will see them as they are.
Okay, trial 2. We ain't done yet. Oh, back in storybook land, I guess. Oh! And the king and queen are back too. And you're just transforming from chess pieces into actual characters now. Okay, then.
The trial awaits.
I see. You stepped up your game a bit.
Only by turning the world on its head can we see its true colors. So, it begs the question, what do you see on the other side of this chessboard? Pawns earned true freedom the moment they gained legs with which to ride. So, in the spirit of Rhine-daughter, I prepared a little surprise for you. No need to thank me, of course. Just a small gesture of kindness from me, Barbara.
This calls for some pomp and ceremony.
Oh, Albedo. You're always so charming and delightful.
Moment of birth. Coming to be.
This realm.
Whoa.
No home for a princess.
It's all getting rather dreary.
Okay, those moves are definitely getting bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. I will admit.
Great undertaking.
Too toasty.
Lightning, echo, and song.
Yeah. Moments of birth.
Let us dance, my dearest.
Try to remember the steps this time.
Oops. I thought I had it memorized.
Strike pose.
Moments of birth.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and heal back up a bit again.
And now, a towering return to form! Witness my great undertaking.
I can't trigger Frozen! Wait for the attack to come in, wait for the attack to come in. Time it, time it, time it, now! It didn't work?
Witness my great undertaking.
That always works normally, okay. Why did it not work? You always get invincibility! Why did the invincibility frames not work? What the hell?
Moments of birth.
Let us dance, my dearest.
Try to remember the steps this time.
No, seriously! Normally when you trigger your ult, you're always invincible. Why is that like the one move that gets around it? I don't understand.
Moments of birth.
There was never an exception like that. Even boss moves. No boss can get past the invincibility frames.
This calls for some pomp and ceremony.
Well, now I'm just screwed because I can't trigger Frozen.
My burst force.
I don't want to lower difficulty, I want to retry. Where's the retry button? Why is there no retry button? What kind of horrible game design is it if there is no retry button? Why is there no retry button? That's horrible game design. Can't even afford a retry button? How cheap is Genshin Impact becoming? Seriously. Every single time I play this game it gets worse and worse and worse, and yet I'm still playing it. It's Stockholm Syndrome. In all honesty, I would never recommend this game to anyone nowadays. Ever. Seriously, if you're watching the stream and you haven't anyone watching this who hasn't started up Genshin, don't bother. Don't bother. Pick any other game, any other gacha game. Just stay away from Genshin. It is a shit show. It is just an absolute shit show of a game. And yes, I'm still going in without being able to trigger freeze. I don't care. Okay, and I have to do the first... Oh, guess what? I have to sit through the entire dialogue again, and it's not skippable.
You sound pretty confident. Well, since you...
Again, speaking about horrible game design,
Just for you. So what?
this is, without question, Genshin Impact, without question, one of the worst designed games I've played on the channel. You'd think with all the money Hoyoverse makes, they could make a better game.
Moments of birth.
Apparently they cannot.
I'm flying. You can't get me a...
Witness my great undertaking. Burst forth.
Hoyo made better games? Yes, but they can't improve upon Genshin apparently.
Witness my great undertaking.
Like, how is it that after all this time Genshin keeps getting worse and worse instead of improving? Okay, don't get me wrong, the cutscenes are still sick and everything, but forcing people to go through the story again after there is no retry button, okay? You don't even have a retry button, so you have to exit out of it, then go back in, and then when you go back in, you have to sit through the entire story again because there is no skip button either. Yeah, I believe you. Again, as I keep saying, I would not recommend Genshin Impact to anyone at this point. I would probably tell them play some other Hoyoverse game if you really want something along these lines. Just stay away from Genshin.
Feel this ancient power. Witness my great undertaking.
Alright, here comes the queen.
Solidify.
Feel this ancient power. Come into being. Feel this ancient power.
Alright, phase 2. Again! Where's the skip button? I have seen this cutscene already. I have literally just seen this cutscene. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice cutscene.
Really doesn't suit
But I don't need to see it multiple times.
Well done, but this isn't over. I will now preside over the second trial. Stare straight ahead, and you will see things as they appear. But change your perspective, and you will see them as they are.
You okay? Yeah. Actually, no, I'm not okay. I am absolutely not okay. Because I have to deal with this absolute bullshit of a game. That has like half of its characters not even voice acted. Unskippable cutscenes that you have to sit through multiple times.
Turning the world on its head. Can we see its true colors? So it begs the question: what do you see on the other side of this chessboard? Pawns earned all freedom, and they gained legs with which to ride. So, in the spirit of Rheindotter, I prepared a little surprise for you. No need to thank me, of course. Just a small gesture of kindness from me, Barbelot, Justice, to you.
It is time to slay our foes!
Oh, Albedo, you're always so charming and delightful.
I mean, I can try it again. I doubt it will work.
I do wish you'd take a leaf out of
Now.
your
Yeah, how? How? No other boss can do that. Literally, there's no other enemy who can do that. Boss enemy or regular enemy. No one can do that. Nobody can hit through that stuff.
Oh, this is all getting rather dreary.
Allow me, darling.
Moment of birth.
Stabilize. Ow! A little too toasty.
Hit through what? Hit through the invincibility. No, not shield. When you use your ult, you're invincible.
Witness my great undertaking.
These guys can kill you while you're in the middle of your ult animation.
By royal decree.
And that is something no enemy, no boss can do. It's actually a thing. It is got... Because that's actually a strategy that I sometimes use. When bosses have an insta-kill attack, I sometimes just use my ult so I can just power through the insta-kill attack and survive. Like, it's legit a thing that you can always use against bosses. Except here, apparently. See that?
Feel this ancient power.
That is such bullshit. Because that is literally so inconsistent, because that's nothing. No, not a single enemy, not a single boss in the game can do that. So why is it all of a sudden a thing here?
Witness my great undertaking.
It's so inconsistent that all of a sudden these guys can just randomly hit through your ult animations.
this ancient power.
It is time to slay our foes with one almighty
This calls for some
strike!
pomp and ceremony.
Stabilize.
Feel this ancient power.
I'll just sacrifice Farina again after reviving her. Because apparently that attack is unavoidable, even with ult animations, which is, again, something that is normally impossible.
My great undertaking. Ow! Coming to be.
By royal decree.
As you wish.
Gather. Moment of birth.
There we go. Got them.
Yes, very well done.
We did it.
Oh, they've grown up so fast. I'm so proud.
Really? Well then, I'll leave you to debrief the others about today's events.
Huh? You're leaving already?
You did marvelously today. I'm thrilled for both of you. And should you feel the need to gloat profusely to that student of mine so she knows to up her game, be my guest. Lovely tea party. But
boy.
that'll do me for now. Until next time, my dearies.
You're just going to up and leave? Barbie? You'll have to forgive Barbalov. She's always on the move. And she never says where she's going either. I think she enjoys the mystique. But if I had to guess, she's probably going for a walk. She's a very health-conscious individual. Barbie was satisfied with your victory. And so am I. Congratulations to you both. You can come back now. Oh, whoops. I need to turn you back to normal first, don't I?
You do kind of need to do that, yes. And don't make me sit through the same cutscene again. I don't need to see everything a third time.
Back. Great job! You made it all look so easy.
Nice to have you back safe and sound. Now time to relax and switch off. You've earned it.
Thank you. Felt pretty good to beat the trial. Once you've rested up, let me know when you're free and we'll head to Dragonspine.
To deal with the dragon of Dragonspine, right?
Indeed. The sooner we deal with Durin, the better. Alright, off to Dragonspine. Gonna make a quick stop at the statue to revive Farina again. You wanna know what's sad? I keep saying that the reason I keep streaming Genshin, it's almost like Stockholm Syndrome at this point. It's mainly because, again, I've started streaming the story, and at this point I'm so far in, like, we're basically one nation away from finishing everything. So I kind of have to see things through. However, you can tell that my enjoyment of the game, while the game still has its moments that I like and characters that I really, really like, in general, my enjoyment of the game has really, 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 really decreased. And it's not just mine. It's not just my enjoyment of the game that is like, I guess I'm playing Genshin again today. It's not just me. It's also you guys. I mean, you've probably noticed that Genshin is by far the game that the least people care about. Like, if I look right now, I have 2 people watching. And one of them is me having the stream open on another device. So I can see everything going okay. So you can tell, I am really starting to dislike Genshin more and more as time goes on. And nobody in my community cares about it either. Yet I have this obligation to keep going because we're so close to the end.
Yep. This place is as freezing as ever.
It's sad, honestly. Want to climb into my hood?
You sure? Is it warm in there?
To take the edge off, it might improve your mood, but I recommend finding a better spot, I guess. For you, it's because Hu Tao, I also have certain characters, like Fischl, that I really like. And we both are in the position where our favorite character isn't voice acted currently. Because of bullshit. Anyway, we're here. Let's see this through to the end. We've arrived. Sorry, Paimon, but... Sorry, Paimon, I have to get to work now.
Still beating away after all this time.
Leave it to me. You two stay on guard.
May Paimon ask a question?
Now? You may.
Who is Durin to you? Do you think of him as one of your kind? And is he a dragon, person, animal, or monster?
From an alchemical perspective, we're both artificial creations, but biologically speaking, we have no relation whatsoever. So to say we are kin would be categorically incorrect.
Sounds like you prefer humans to dragons, then.
Not so much a matter of preference, rather as things stand, I would say I belong to the class of human, albeit a unique category thereof. But then again, most forms of life in this world possess some unique traits. I am perhaps the most unique among humans. In fact, I'm the only one of my kind, but soon there will be another just like me, assuming this alchemical project proves successful. I believe Mini Durin already told you of his intent to replace Durin of Dragonspine. After my conversation with him, he also expressed a strong interest in becoming human. It's a fascinating prospect, not to mention an extremely challenging one, but I understand why he came to that decision. Do you see this as an act of creation? Well, understood in the broadest sense, this project deals with both the past and future, and stands to profoundly impact many lives. That primarily is what makes it worthwhile. Helping Mini Durin become who he wants to be is a secondary consideration, though still a meaningful one. By contrast, my personal motivations are nothing so grand and meaningful. I'm just pursuing something I believe in. In my view, to cultivate life, which the world itself cannot generate endogenously, is to cultivate the world itself. Whatever aids life in attaining a greater level of perfection improves the world by doing so. It's not a question of whether this ought to be done or not, merely whether I wish to. The alchemical enterprise is concerned with deciphering and comprehending all forms of knowledge. That is the path I walk. Of course, that is not to say that this is just a science experiment to me. Anything that affects Mondstadt, I approach first and foremost as a member of the Knights of Favonius. Does that answer your question satisfactorily? Well enough, thank you. Not like I asked the question, that was Paimon, but whatever. Finished.
Looks like a golden energy has encased the dragon's heart.
The whole heart would be too big. I don't need that much. Instead, I just remove the core. The rest will soon lose its vitality completely. This time, Durin's body should finally die for good.
Wait, but in that case, what's gonna happen to the fake Hertha? And what about the people who fell under Durin's influence?
The Knights will keep an eye on them, but as far as I'm concerned, eliminating Durin's influence on the citizenry and creating a new Durin through alchemy are one and the same thing. Armed with this heart, I'll be able to complete the alchemical array and deal with all the issues in one go. Alright, let's finish this off. Let's call it a day here. Thank you for accompanying me.
Pleasure! We sure learned a lot.
Mondstadt's a lively place during the Windbloom Festival. You should take a look around and pick out some nice souvenirs for yourselves.
Oh yeah, the festival! Wonder who the Windbloom star is gonna be this time. Well, we've been too busy dealing with this situation the entire time. Who else would be free to work during the Windbloom Festival?
I'm sure we'll find out on the day off. Time skip. One day, 2 days. So anyway, how's everyone doing? And by everyone I mean just Spinne, because no one else is here. Why am I forced to still play this game? Again, it has its moments. I can't deny the game still has its moments, but in general...
The Windbloom Festival is about to begin! Let's go check it out!
In general, there certainly are things I don't really enjoy that much about it. In fact, I don't know. How long do we think this is gonna be? Because if this is too long, then I would just prefer to end it here for today, in all honesty. Because my motivation is really dying right now. Especially after that stupid fight. That just completely negates invincibility. And if one have to wait for the new one to arrive. Well, I hope the new one will arrive soon. See, the thing is, once I enter this new, the area... once I enter this rift thingy, I will once again be unable to leave the story for quite a while. In all honesty, I'm not sure if I have the motivation to really keep going right now. I remember when this game was just fun all around. I remember when this game was just fun all around for me, but it's really started falling off. Please tell me I'm not the only one who can't wait for the game to reach its conclusion and just go to Snezhnaya, see the end of the story. Be happy if you drop Genshin for Honkai-san. But as I said, it's basically Stockholm Syndrome. I'm committed, I have to see the story through to the end. Whenever that end may be. Now obviously, since it's basically only you here, we're not going to be doing a raid today. I think it's been a while since I've ended a stream without raiding. But if I end a stream without raiding, it's almost exclusively after a Genshin stream for, you know, the obvious reasons that while I still have at least some moments about Genshin that I enjoy from time to time, it would appear that my community sees no such moments in the game, which is why this game is very much so not a well-received watch. In any event, I'm wrapping it up here. I know a little bit before the 3-hour mark. We'll wrap this up next time. I'll probably do another Genshin stream next week. Yeah, I'll probably do another Genshin stream next week, where we'll wrap that up and everything, so... Goodbye, Spinne. I would say goodbye to everyone else, but there is no one else. I guess I'll say goodbye to those who are watching this as a VOD. Once you see this after it's been uploaded to YouTube, I hope you had some fun. Honestly, I wonder, considering how few people watch this live, I wonder if there is even anyone who would want to watch this as a VOD. But if you are watching this as a VOD, feel free to tell me down below why. Just why. Why? But yeah, if you want to catch me live in the future, you can do so by checking the description down below. Thank you. For a link to my Twitch. I stream there every single Friday and Saturday, and sometimes other days of the week too, on a bit more of an irregular basis. And I do still plan to keep streaming Genshin until the story concludes, which will likely be like a year from now, maybe. Here's hoping. In any event, till then, have a good one, and goodbye.